Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tournameta Podcast, Episode 2. We've made a second one of these ones. So if you're watching at home on Twitch live, buckle in. Maybe make a cup of coffee, something like that. And if you're watching on YouTube, how you doing? Hope it's a good time that you're having right now. Today, we got a special guest. You probably might have already seen it on Twitter. But it's Chris Shitashi. I don't even know if you've got a last name, but we're going to call you Chris Shitashi for now. And I wanted to talk about right off the bat your accolades, because you are a supreme veteran of the Smash scene. So much of a veteran, actually, that you have this ability that when you play somebody, right, and you time them out, you make them a veteran just through that process. Because 1 minute in the Shitashi timeout world is a year of playing Smash in the real world. Also, though, you're also the creator and runner of Ausmash. And the entire sort of elo system that goes, you're not the creator of the elo system, but you run the elo system and Smash around that. And we're super thankful about that. But yeah, why don't you tell me right off the bat how you deal with other people interpreting your defensive playstyle? Because that's the first thing that, like, someone who doesn't know you doesn't really know why you do it. Right? Imagine if somebody who's listening right now has just come to their first tournament, they're in pools, and you don't even know them that well, but you just time them out because it's the optimal thing to do.
This sounds like what Ben Gold spoke about last week when he thought that I timed him out at one of his first tournaments for being a weenie.
Yep.
I do that sometimes, but not really. The real reason I generally time people out would be because it's the optimal thing to do and I like winning.
Yep.
So I chose Megaman. Megaman's a character I've wanted in the game since Smash 64.
Ooh.
I remember thinking he should have been in Smash 64. So when he got announced for Smash 4, and he's still in Ultimate, thank God.
Yeah.
I just wanted to play that character. And I realized pretty quickly with the 3DS version that because more than half of his moveset is projectiles, that I'm not at an advantage if I'm closing the distance. I'm at an advantage when I'm keeping space between my opponents.
Yeah.
And I just learnt pretty quickly that the optimal thing is to just keep away. And quite often, if someone else isn't going to approach me, it ends up in a timeout. It's not something I particularly want to be known for, but it's just happened. And I guess I've just had to embrace it.
That's the cool thing, I think, because I joke about how someone becomes a veteran when they get timed out against you. But when you think about it, you got a lot of players who start out in Smash and like they want to play the cool characters. And they would be like, I'm a Captain Falcon main. I play aggressive. I'm cool like that. And then they sort of like don't maybe play the play styles they're good at because they want to be cool. And then they go into a tournament and they might actually realize, screw that. Like, let me play what I'm good at because somebody else is doing the right thing. So I've always really enjoyed that about you. In fact, one of the things you taught me and my brother really early on when we were playing Smash 4 is like not look at the enemy character or your character as much as you are looking at the space between them.
Yeah, not your character, not the enemy's character. You got to look at, that's it. And because that's what's going to determine what you can do at any given moment. You also do need to keep an eye on your opponent because if they're standing still, then they're not moving, but if they're moving around, you just got to keep an eye on them. But it's, the space between you is the most important thing in the game.
The focus. Is that how you, like, does that give you your spreadsheet of how you should function? Like, do you treat it as like, now I'm at this space, I should start doing these moves, and then like you follow that strictly, or is it more of a...
I guess I've had a few people tell me that my Mega Man is a series of flowcharts.
Yeah.
And I think that's true. Like, if I'm really far away, I've had Dean from Victoria go, oh, side B, B, side B, B, like in a rhythm and saying it as I'm doing it. And I'm like, well,
if you can't beat it.
Yeah, well, you're not approaching and I'm tacking on damage with stupid things to you. So that's what I'm going to do. There's a lemon range. If I'm up close, there's certain patterns I'll do to get away from you. So yeah, it's a few kind of flowcharts. You got to try not to stick to the same one or else you get really predictable.
Yeah.
But basically, there's a few modes I'll flick between depending on the spacing, and the whole game's just switching modes and just mixing it up, making people think you're going to be doing one thing, and then just changing it up.
Is it true you treat people like a Mega Man boss?
Yes. No, that's.
I love that,
and I think
that's good.
If anyone doesn't know how Mega Man works, it's a pretty cool game. You generally start out and there's in most games, it's 8 bosses, and you can tackle them in any order you want. So to get to the boss, you got to get to the end of the level, and then at the end of the level, there's the boss. The cool thing is when you beat the boss, you get their weapon. I wish Mega Man worked like that, similar to Kirby, where if I killed people, I got their attacks, but
that would be way too cool.
I can't have it all, so I'll live without that. But yeah, basically when you get there, you need to memorize patterns, and basically all the bosses are going to have a handful of attacks that all cover certain parts of the screen. You got to look for what the signals are, what they're going to do when they start up, and you got to know where to be and where to punish them.
Yep.
And that's just how I see Smash. Like if I'm playing a K. Rool, I know that he's got a lot of vulnerability on his crown. So I'm going to know that if I think that he's going to pull out his crown and then I see the animation, jump over and forward air him. Like that's your opportunity.
The counter.
It's like that with if you see there's just heaps of them. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but you just got to be
like a bunch of different like classic things to react to.
This character's doing this, they're going for that.
Yeah,
so.
like Ness PK Fire and forward air is like the difference between trying to anti-air and trying to like jump over the PK Fires. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, what a lot of people think when they see someone who's overly flowcharty is they go, oh, it's lame that I'm getting beaten out by someone who's got like a simple plan. Like they should be more creative. But what they don't notice is the flowchart's actually responding to what they're doing.
That's it.
So if you're being beaten by a flowcharty player, it's probably because you actually have more standout habits than they do.
Flowcharting can also be conditioning, because quite often I can play quite safe as Mega Man, and I'll make people think that I'm going to be doing a certain thing for basically the whole game, but all I need to do is get one thing to kill someone. It's usually Metal Blade to back air or something silly like that. So if I use that the whole match, then they're ready for it, but if I don't, then they're expecting lemons, and then I just pull that out, and you didn't see that coming.
So that's actually a proactive thing to do in the game. So would you call yourself more of a proactive player in that sense, or do you more rely on the reactions? So you wait for them to do something and then you respond to that?
I'm probably more of a reactive player. I don't think that I can be proactive as Mega Man effectively.
Yeah, okay.
I do think that if I played other characters, I'd have to be a lot more proactive. But having said that, it's not like Mega Man just sits in the corner of the stage and like just
does nothing.
Yeah, he's constant. You have to be constantly putting pressure on someone, because if you're not, then you're losing stage control. You're letting people like Samus will just run away and charge up a charge shot. You need to be controlling space, but you need to be doing it aggressively. So even though it's like, oh, I am kind of reactive, I'm still like, I always have to be doing something.
I
always have to be making people play my game, because you can't. I actually had someone say that to me on the weekend. It was Nick. I played a game with him. He's like, you just didn't let me play the game.
Yep.
And I'm like, yep, that's what I do.
That's what you should do. If you can do it, no, that's 100% it. Some people might get salty about that.
Understandably.
But you don't take any of that to heart. You know that that's sort of like part of playing the game as well.
I kind of feed off it, to be honest.
Oh, all right. Yeah?
Yeah, it's. I guess that's just savage thing that if some people get into competitive gaming for, you just like beating people. And if there's some people that if they get legitimately upset and would start crying and broke down, then I'd probably feel a little bit bad. But thankfully, we don't have any of those babies in Queensland. So,
and I mean, even though they're getting really upset, you still got the W.
Yeah, well, that's it. I got your elo now, so.
Yeah. That's a little evil. No, I don't think you would if someone was typically getting upset. But you are, from what a lot of people know, very involved in the game when you play.
Yes.
You lean forwards and you're also vocal. You're probably one of the most vocal players to play against. And sometimes you get a little bit salty against other players as well. Is that part of the whole like mind games that you play, or is that just you spilling out?
You need to be, if you want to get good, you need to be never okay with losing.
Oh, yeah.
You can't ever be competitive and then come out of a match that lost and be like, yeah, that's okay. You might as well be that burning dog in the house. You need to not be salty and mad. Like, I definitely get salty, but you need to be constructive and be able to look back at it and think, why did I keep getting hit? What was going wrong? What was the opponent hitting me with? What could I have done better? But yeah, that comes from, I guess, just genuinely caring.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that needs to be an element of it.
Yeah, it is good when you feel bad.
Yep.
Because when you feel bad, you're running back to the training mode. you're finding out what you need to do. Like, you're looking at the scenarios because you never want to lose again. That's why I always say, like, a lot of people give crap to the saltiest players when they come in, but they're usually the most motivated. I think there's a balance between, like, if they lose too much and they're really salty, they'll quit.
Yes, they're definitely.
But if they stick around, they actually do get really good really quickly. Because
needs to be constructive
focused.
Salt. Let's call it that.
Yes. There are a lot of players who are extremely salty, and they that's a barrier for them to see their play clearly.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's a good way to put it. But you I don't want to go too on about your defensive playstyle, but I was thinking about Megaman is very similar to actually how you play, and you talked about how it's similar to the boss. And I have this ongoing theory, that a lot of people play their character like they play their favorite games or the games that they've played most because the habits that they transfer over. Do you think there are some players that they have a very an iconic playstyle in that way besides you in Queensland? Or there's someone who's like super robotic because they play like strategy games, or I mean, you don't know what they're playing, but do you know any iconic playstyles as iconic as yours?
I don't. I feel like there are one of the things I do find interesting in Smash is that I think there's a lot of a person's personality in not only their character choice, but how they play their character.
Yeah.
There's just so many Captain Falcon players that just want to run in and be like, and, that's all good.
But is that necessarily 100% aggression, or is that just like they like the style,
I think it's style and aggression. It's a mixture of both.
Yeah.
I feel fortunate in that the way Megaman's designed really well by Sakurai in that he actually plays like you're playing a Mega Man game. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's been the only reason that kind of has transferred over. But I don't really know, like, Captain Falcon doesn't play like an F-Zero game because obviously you don't move around like him in it and stuff. So I don't really know.
But then again, F-Zero is super aggressive in its playstyle. Like, you're going so fast.
That is actually an element that comes across. I think there's a lot of those kind of parallels in games.
Yeah.
But I can't think of anyone other than... I just feel like Mega Man's the best designed character in the game. It's probably biased, but
I was almost upset when I saw how he moves.
Oh, it's great.
Because it's like the Mega Man movement is a staple in video game history. Is like, this is what you want your game to feel like.
Yeah.
And he feels like that in Smash.
The gravity, the airspeed, everything. They just nailed it.
Yeah, I've been playing Ken lately, and it's just, like, you try and like fade back, and it's ridiculous. No, I love Mega Man for that. Let's talk about Mega Man for a little bit, the actual game. How many have you played?
How many Mega Man games have I played? Probably about just under 10 of them. So Mega Man X is probably one of the best games of all time.
Oh, really?
Just hands down. I remember seeing that my friend's place when I was maybe like 10 or something, and just not knowing the whole premise of the game. It was also before the day and age of the internet, where one of the magical things about Mega Man games is with the 8 bosses, each of the bosses has a weakness to one of the other bosses' weapons.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
So you might get the flame weapon, that might be good against the ice guy. Then you get the ice weapon, that's good against the electric guy. That wasn't something that we knew at the time, but we kind of figured it out that night. We're like, but for one of the characters. And so then the whole thing became this, the stages are really hard to get through as it is.
Okay.
So it just became kind of magical to just try and get through each stage, to just try the weapon you just got on the boss. No, you died. Okay, cool. Well, let's try another one. In this day and age, that's kind of lost because people just look it up on the internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really special for Mega Man X. I played Mega Man X, Mega Man X2, and Mega Man X3. They're all on Super Nintendo. And I've also played the classic games Mega Man 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're a little bit rougher. I do think I prefer the X series because it's just a bit more modern.
Yeah.
You've got better movement in it. I feel like the weapons are a little bit more interesting because the old ones tend to be a bit older.
Yeah. I mean, most people you talk to will be like, yeah, Mega Man X is legendary.
From what I've heard, it started to go downhill towards the end of the series because Mega Man X goes to Mega Man X8.
Yeah.
I know one of the Mega Man games, I think it's possibly 7, was done in 3D.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know how that went. So,
I didn't pay attention to that either.
So that's all been and I've played, I think it's Mega Man 7, somewhere in the middle of that I picked up. But Mega Man 11 came out, I think, last year for the Switch.
Yeah.
And that game's actually quite amazing.
Really?
Like, yeah, I played it. I'm like, well, let's just see. They've made it a follow-on from the original, like, Mega Man 10. I don't think that had a game in, like, a decade.
It looks like a departure from the feel of a lot of the other Mega Man games from what I've seen. It looks a lot, I don't know.
They've actually made it feel like the classic Mega Man games.
Oh, okay.
It looks new, like, because Mega Man 10 was quite old in graphics, but Mega Man 11, they've just made it look modern, feel retro. They added this double gear system, which I was a bit finicky on at the start. I'm like, it's just some mechanic like Z moves or some of the silly stuff that Pokemon adds in every time, but no, it just gives you the ability to slow down time, and I thought, that's a bit overpowered, but the game's actually been designed where you need to pretty much do that to get through some parts of the level, so it just adds another thing to manage. The boss fights are really interesting. The bosses can all go into this overpower mode. I had so much fun with it, and I think they absolutely nailed it, and I hope they do more Mega Man games.
I'm so glad, resurrection of series. I've had Crash Bandicoot be resurrected, so yeah, I'm super happy about it. Anyways, before we were talking about secondaries, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here, but it's all going to be connected. You were talking about how like certain items and weapons did well against certain characters, and that's actually a very classic trope of the Metroidvania games, where you pick up abilities and you sort of have to learn characters or the enemy's patterns and then use those abilities that you've gotten as like a counter to them.
Yep.
So if you played any of the Metroidvanias, because you were talking about picking up a secondary, and there's two Castlevania characters, and then maybe not Samus, but you did play a little bit of Samus in Smash 4, if I recall.
I played Samus in Brawl. She's just changed so much since then that I don't recognise the character. Z-Air used to be her best move. Down tilt used to be a kill move. You used to be able to do 3 missiles out of a full hop.
Whoa.
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, none of that's still a thing. And she had the sex kick nair, the one that lingers. So like the way the character is now, it's just too far removed from anything I know. I don't think I could play the Belmonts. I feel like if I played another character, I like Piranha Plant at the moment only because yeah, but I think he's just because he's hilarious and stupid.
Yeah, he is really underrated as well.
Well, he's got his weaknesses.
If
he gets camped out, he's fine. But I feel like if I ever did pick up a secondary, I'd want someone I can go in with.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I don't know what it's like to go in on a tourney match anymore.
You want to have that different levels of like, okay, camping clearly isn't working.
Yeah. So, but I just don't. I don't have anyone on the cards. I don't think Piranha Plant's strong enough to.
No, he can't
pick up yet. Yeah,
he can't go in.
No, he really can't. So I'm okay with that. I don't think I'm done with Mega Man yet.
No,
either.
Of course not.
I'm still learning stuff about him constantly. So. I just don't feel like... There's definitely matchups where I struggle with, and it's made me want to pick up a secondary, but I feel like as a player, you grow more when you learn to get around your difficult matchups than just going, I need a secondary.
100%.
So...
Yeah. What about... not necessarily secondaries, but do you think... if you stick to your main in Ultimate, do you necessarily think that's as easy to do as it was in Smash 4? Because in Smash 4, I don't know how... like. A lot of people like to pick up secondaries, and it sort of like was starting to become clear as a detriment later. Like you just can't keep up 2 people and also play as a top level. Like some players, like Jace, could keep it up, but it was like
he did that constantly though. Like that needs to be your normal mode of operation. I think when you're trying to get good, you need to pick a character and stick with them. You can't be a player that's not making it out of pro bracket and going, I'm going to do 5 characters. You're not going to get the depth that you need to kind of take. Because a secondary who's good, like a Fox kind of counters Mega Man, but if someone pulls out Fox as a secondary, I know what they're going to do and I can work around it.
They're going to go for the very basic stuff.
But I do think kind of at the high level, this is just in my eyes, but I think there's so many matchups in this game that it doesn't seem like a bad idea to have 1 or 2 secondaries that cover your bad matchup. Yeah. This game is just so matchup dependent to me. Like it's just a game of like 70 matchups. Yeah. So if you've got some that are just horrible, it does seem like a smart idea to me to have characters that cover your bad matchups. But you just need to put an equal amount of effort into your secondary to get it up to scratch. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I've been thinking the same thing lately, especially looking, I think they had a tournament today where there was a lot of, like, the top 8 had a bunch of different characters.
Yep.
And it was only the winner, MK Leo, who played all Joker. But he also has a secondary, an Ike and Lucina, that he can pull out at any time.
Yep.
And, like, it's no mystery that the top players always had multiple characters because they were just constantly playing. But, no, it seemed like the biggest difference between... From what I've experienced, that in Smash 4, like, if you stuck to one character, eventually things started to just click.
Yep.
And, like, you would go against all the players who just didn't have the experience.
Yep.
And you could start, like, just slapping people down, even if it was a bad matchup. But, no, I don't see that as much anymore, especially since a lot of the new players are just good.
Yep.
I still don't know what that is. You've noticed that as well, like, a lot of new
the
players.
skill level in Queensland's getting pretty intimidating at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, anyone... You've got up-and-comers every other week. So, you can't.
But mostly, like,
anyone.
new to the Smash series. I mean, not as a casual, like, they might have played Smash 4 casually, but, like, competitively getting into Ultimate and being good. Like, that was something that a lot of Smash 4 players struggled with when we all came in. I think Flex was one of the best Smash 4 noobs. A lot of the best players for, like, the first, I'd say, I don't want to say quarter because the Smash 4 history was huge, but, like, the early days were all Smash vets, but they were head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yeah,
I think that's really interesting. Have you noticed that, or?
I feel like people are leveling up a lot quicker, and I don't know what that is, but I think it's a good thing. I don't think people are really too guarded with their knowledge. It's not like you go to tournaments and top players in Queensland or anywhere that I know of for that matter are kind of protective. Like, everyone wants to help everyone else out. It's the whole premise of a rising tide helps all ships or something like that.
Oh, yep.
So I think it's in everyone's best interest to help everyone else get better because, if I can just win against you by spamming Leaf Shield and and then I can do that week in, week out, that's not going to help me when I go into state and someone knows just to hold shield and suddenly I don't have a game plan. Like, I might get a few free wins up here, but it's in the long run it's detrimental. So
have you noticed that's a little bit of a problem interstate? Because your interstate performances have been a little bit of a mismatch to how you've done. I mean, there are some outstanding performers, but maybe at Phantom, if you didn't go for the timeout on whoever, Buzo, I think it was.
Phantom. Oh, so Phantom, I went to game 5 with Booper and I took one game because I timed him out. I lost the 5th game because I decided to approach him when he was at like 200%.
Right.
And I was on maybe 70 or 80. I'm like, it's time for a back air. And that was my mistake. So if I took from that I shouldn't ever approach him ever. I should go. I mean. I should have gone for a timeout. And then the next time Boozer came up to Queensland, I timed out. I didn't time out his Ridley, but I ended up winning a set against his Ridley. But then he just switched to Bowser, who I hate with a passion. So
we're still learning the Bowser matchup.
Yeah. So that's that. I don't think I did too well at there or what was it? The other one was Wollongong.
Yeah.
Wollongong.
Expand
Gong, that's it. So I lost to Star, who's a really good me sword fighter. I guess I was just used to playing Nagima and I thought I knew the matchup, but he just plays it completely differently.
Yeah.
I guess he's just a lot more patient than Nagima. Nagima he just tells me all the time, he just doesn't have patience against me. He sees me in the bracket and he's like, I give up, I couldn't be bothered. Whereas this me sword fighter was camping me.
Yeah.
There was a game against him where it would have timed out if I didn't approach him and I was losing. So
had to approach.
Yeah, so I had to approach and I couldn't get past the Chakram and the Tornado effectively.
Yeah.
And then I also lost to Shadru, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Because he went on quite a bit of a rampage there.
Another terrible example of Queensland knocking each other out in interstate tournaments.
Yeah, that's what happens. Well, we don't have it as bad as like Vic and Sydney though, because if you look at some of the brackets they've had, because they're flooding it, that's unfortunate. But I feel like I did all right at BAM, because BAM was it over 300 people?
Yeah.
And I got 13th. I mean, Ben Gold won the whole thing, so that's always been the story. But personally, I'm like, I beat my 33rd, so...
A lot of people talk about how these other states are a lot more aggressive, but you just talked about how someone almost timed you out. Do you reckon that the saying that Queensland is the most defensive state is true, or do you reckon that's like overblown a little bit and there actually are some defensive players in the other states that aren't really looked at as much?
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit of a meme that Queensland's defensive because we've had me, Lumi, and Jace for so long. But I just don't have... I know that us three are quite defensive players, but I don't know whether that's just us and compared to other states, because I feel like I've played other people, like Boozer was campy versus me. He's not the kind of player that you'd think is passive, but he seemed quite... I don't know if it's probably just more defensive and not making mistakes and trying to wait on you to make a mistake, which I think is a really good and strong playstyle. And a lot of the people in other states are really smart like that. You can tell they've got a really savage group of people they play against, and they can't afford to be making mistakes. So I guess I just never really saw it as defensive. I just saw them as all playing smart, but that probably is playing defensive when you think about it.
Even the aggressive players, I think, like, because this is a common newbie thing to do, is like, oh, why aren't you approaching?
Yeah.
But even the aggressive high-level players, they use a lot of baiting.
Yes.
They'll use pressure to sort of try and make you a mistake, but they're not actually overcommitting very much.
Yep.
Which,
safe pressure.
Yeah. I think it's Flex says in Queensland, like, the best play style, in his opinion, is consistent pressure.
Yes.
That's like enough to make the other player crack. But yeah, I have my suspicions that it's a little bit of a meme, but you definitely have some interstate players that are like a little mindless. What do you reckon the optimal playstyle in Ultimate is? Is it more defensive, or is it like?
I don't think there is one that you could say overall for all characters.
Yeah.
I think the main thing, as you said, safe pressure is very important for basically all characters. There's some central things like stage control. You always need to have stage control, because at the end of the day, you're just trying to get your opponent off the stage.
Yeah.
So however you can pressure them, you need to be really big on punishes. Because like you can get a few stray hits here and there, but if you can get a punish on someone for doing something silly and get 40-50% on them, then that's something that can be hard to come back from.
Yeah.
And it feels more like mind games. Like that's it's really about, the game doesn't feel like the most technical person who presses the most buttons or the person who's the most technical person wins. To me, it seems like the person that can understand the other person, get in their mind, make them do what they want them to do, make them play their game, that's the person that wins. I know a lot of my losses that I've had interstate have been people that have ended up getting me to play their game. Like I lost to Emansaw down in the Melbourne tournament in BAM because he was camping me out and I just wasn't. He was blocking everything I did and I just couldn't. Everything I was trying, he was just not letting me in. So that was just a mind game thing.
Do you reckon there's this interstate sort of like secret society where they all tell each other how to beat Shitashi? Just like play super defensive.
I'm dirty on ACT because they have a really good Megaman player there, so I can't get away with any matchup in experience against ACT players. I've never been able to. So, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
at least I know when I go to Victoria or Perth that like most people there don't know how to play against a good Megaman. So I can work that for a little bit, but I don't think I get that in ACT.
You're getting a lot of it in Queensland.
People know how to play Mega Man, and people discuss how to beat Mega Man. There was discussions in a Discord I was in this morning about
really
how to beat Mega Man.
Yikes.
It's fair though. Like if there's a character that's beating people, you obviously want to get together and figure out how to beat them. So it's all fair, but it's just funny watching people discuss tactics against you.
I think Trunkle said after you beat him on Brand Bat that Leaf Shield is the best move in the game. Because he had no idea how to beat it.
I said that to him after
Really?
I played him. I'm like, Leaf Shield's one of the best moves in the game, isn't it? Something like that. I said that to him because he went, just... Yep. When I played him, I was... My two main things were I don't think he knows how to deal with Leaf Shield, and he played Crom, who has Ike's up B, and I didn't think he would have thought that I can charge forward smash when he's recovering to hit him at the top of it.
Yeah.
So my whole game plan was to just interrupt him with Leaf Shield, and he never figured out that we didn't seem to figure out that all you have to do is hold shield. And I was going to tell him afterwards, but then I thought, oh no, if I run into him in bracket again, I've done this a few times. I've told people what to do.
Yeah.
I don't mind telling people like after a set, but only if I'm not going to run into them again that day. Yeah. That's bitten me in there.
I usually tell people in friendlies, and I had that exact thing happen in Redemption Bracket where I was telling this guy, oh, this is what you should do more than this. And then we played, and he started doing it, and I was like, ugh. I still won. It was okay. I was going to be upset at myself, but nah. It's weird, though, because you say that like we're all helping each other, but at the same time, there's some things where you're going to be like, if I'm telling everybody, I'm doing myself not a favor. And honestly, the onus is on other people to sort of like learn if they want to learn.
The only time and place rule I have for that is I'm probably not going to do it before our set, or if I think we're going to meet again in Grands. But outside of that, I feel like I always say something. I've seen some discussion on Twitter about whether that's being
BM.
BM, and I guess I didn't really understand how it could be BM. Maybe there'd be a context where someone's really angry and mad at you that you probably wouldn't say it.
Yeah.
Or they just legitimately don't look like they care and they're about to run out of the venue.
Like 90% of the time when I tell people that's exactly how they react. You'll be like, hey, you can actually get out of the setup, and they just look at you and go, and then look away. And the entire time you're talking at them, they're just like, when's this guy going to shut up? And then they leave. And you're like, well, I tried.
You don't want to sit down and give them a lecture about the matchup, but if I spammed leaf shield because you didn't hold shield, I'm going to tell you that you can just hold shield.
Yeah. 100%.
It's yeah.
I reckon that I think Ben has told me his philosophy on that is that he will always tell people how to beat something if they ask, is the best philosophy. Like, don't go out of your way to sort of like tell everybody your weaknesses, because I did that in Smash 4 with Lucas, because there was the down throw up air, and there was actually like there's no real way to get out of it, but there was like ways that you can mix up your DI and make it a lot more difficult for me. And I was consistently telling people like, actually you want to mix up your DI all the time, there's no right answer. And everyone was like, I'm just going to DI in every time. And I was like, you know what, I'm just not going to tell people, because the only people who actually listened to me were the people who were coming up. And then they started taking games off me, and I was like,
it's an unfortunate thing, but I still feel like it's better in the long run.
We want the scene to be as good as possible, which honestly seems like something that's particular for Queensland. We're really all about helping each other.
It's in a good place at the moment.
Have you got other experience with other scenes where you reckon that like there is more of a culture of like supporting the other players?
I can't say I've spent a significant amount of time in any of the other scenes, so I've kind of just looked on from afar. But I wouldn't know. I'd like to know. I'd like to just plant myself in all the other scenes, to be honest. A lot of them are really interesting, but I just don't have the resources to move house just to join the Smash scene for a year or so.
It was QLD Smash to begin with.
Yes.
Solid Smash now, but you have been a QLD Smash veteran for quite some time. So I can understand that you don't have that experience. Let's talk about Oz Smash now.
What it is now, yep.
Yeah, so like I want to ask you a little bit about how you feel like what its state is at the moment, since like I know when I started out that was like where the community was and people were sort of helping each other out in forums. But do you reckon a lot of that's moved to like Twitter, or
this is probably more of a long form thing. So before that site existed, to me a lot of the Smash community was on Smash boards, and the online Brawl community was on a forum named MMGN, which is now shut down. That went through a phase where it moved into a Skype group. And that seemed to have a problem where it stagnated because you don't add new members through a Skype group. So one of the things, it was really fun when it was on the forum, but one of the reasons I added the online forum for QLD Smash originally was because having that community in a Skype group I felt was really restrictive. So I feel like that I put it on the forum, and I put out a forum and tried to push the online part of it. And that was really successful at the time, because Skype was pretty big, but it wasn't like every gamer was on Skype and we all hung out. It wasn't like that. There was just a Skype group and that was it. I think Discord has permanently changed how gamers consume the internet though. So as well as Twitter. I don't know if people figured this out, but shoutouts on Ausmash were honestly modeled on tweets. So I feel like I liked the idea of what Twitter was, and I put shoutouts in there pretty early on in QLD Smash just as a way to get messages out and just to encourage engagement. But now everyone's actually on the real Twitter, so they've kind of lost their functionality. And then the same's kind of happened with forums. I have been quite concerned looking at it because originally the way QLD Smash was designed, it had the forums front and center. And when the forums dropped off in activity to everyone moving to Discord, it made the website look like it was really dead. But I could see website statistics on it, and it was alive and kicking as ever, but with the tournament results data, which is actually the main reason it was built in the first place.
The data is incredible.
Yeah, well, that's what it was there for. That's the problem it was trying to solve. There's hundreds of other Smash forums out there on the internet, but there was nothing that was capturing the Australian Smash data. So I think I've just bitten the bullet and gone, I don't think I can revive the forums back to the point where they were when I originally created them. The problem that I was trying to solve for Australia is now being solved with Discord. I think it's doing a better job than I could ever do. And to be honest, I don't want to fight it. It's one of the reasons why I added the Discord feature to the new site. Because one of the problems, again, with Discord, it's a similar problem to Skype where you can't like Google and find Discord stuff. You're not going to find stuff to join. But if I can use the site as a gateway into the Australian Smash Discords, then I feel like that's a purpose I'd rather achieve. I was concerned whether it was just the site that was failing, but I've did quite a lot of research into like a lot of other communities in all kinds of gaming, and it's like Smashboards is not as nowhere near as popular as it used to be.
100%.
There's been a few communities that seem to have retained their forum. Like one that stands out to me is Smogon, where they discuss competitive Pokemon. So that seems to still have quite an active forum. Again, it seems to have taken a bit of a hit compared to what it used to be, but they do a very specific function of discussing, like crafting the metagame and determining the rules and bans and all that. So that's got a purpose to exist. But there was also another online community, Aussie Nintendo, that's shut down. MMGN shut down. Like basically all of the forum for a sake of forum, they're all just disappearing. I think that was a bit of a long answer, but yeah, it was created, that part of it was created to service a community that's now being better serviced somewhere else, and I'm happy to just focus energy there and not try and keep something alive that shouldn't be.
I'm happy that you've sort of decided on an adaptation, but it actually does make me sad because even though Twitter and Discord are so good, I think there's a level of like stuff that's forgotten. Like it was very well recorded in the forum format, and you'd also have like people's profiles. Like if you were lost a set to somebody, you could check them out, check their data, and you'd also see stuff like their Twitter and their YouTube all linked there as well. And I think like you lose a lot of that, and I'm glad that there's still like the data, and people will always, I think, use that because it's super valuable for anyone who doesn't know. Definitely check it out. Like it'll tell you statistics about most used characters in a region, which might tell you a little bit about the meta, and it also has I think a database of all the recorded sets.
Anyone that's tagged, you can tag videos,
and individual players, character data, and ELO, which is probably the biggest thing that I think a lot of people have really been into. And I know there's this we might say this for one of the little game parts we did, which was Ganon's Advocate, where I'm gonna get you to sort of argue your defense, and I'm gonna try and pose you some problems. But a lot of people say that the ELO system is sort of like it's a discouragement factor for players because they get so focused on the ELO that they're sort of, not really focused on improvement. Do you reckon that's a legitimate argument, or?
Yes, it's ELO is a very interesting topic. I think people simultaneously used to post about how little they care about it and how it's all meaningful, and while at the same time it was the most hit page on the website week in, week out. I don't want to put any more gravity on ELO than what a player is willing to. One of the reasons I put it on the site in the first place is that before ELO was on Ausmash, the only way that people would get their validation from Smash tournaments would be immediately it'd be tournament results. But then after that, it would be the power rankings. The power rankings wouldn't happen till maybe every 3 months, possibly 6 months if it's...
And things get muddy when you don't have that ready access of data.
Even that was another primary factor for getting it. But one of the problems with the PR is that, well, not only is it subjective, it's essentially a subjective ranking list. It's a bunch of people's opinions and may or may not be wrong, may be or may not be how you perceive yourself, and you have to wait 6 months to get that validation, and you might not even agree with it because I've never seen a PR in Australian history that releases their workings. I've never seen them show this was our mission statement, this is what we value, these are the sets we looked at, this is here's the log of the Discord chats we had, here's why, here's an explanation for every place. You don't get that. You just get a number, and if you're not happy with that, then
it's too late.
Too bad, too sad. No, you should have gone better. So with ELO, The thing with ELO is it updates. I made the decision to update it weekly.
Yeah.
So if you've gone to a tournament and you've upset someone, then you can get that immediate feedback of, I just beat Shitashi. My name's Sick Nick, and I just got 100 ELO. Oh, look at me, I'm the biggest upset for the week. But like it's an immediate thing, and it's also predictable in a sense that like there's a calculator on the side.
Yeah.
You can tell that if you're this ELO and you beat that person with that much ELO, you're going to get this much from them. There's no bias. It's black and white raw numbers.
Yeah.
I'm entirely aware that if you got more ELO than someone else, it doesn't mean that you're better than them necessarily, because skill isn't always linear, and it's definitely not comparable between state and state. But if you can put all that to the side, I think what it's really valuable for is I see a lot of lower level players setting themselves goals.
Yeah.
Saying, I want to get to 1,500 ELO by the end of the year.
I think that's really healthy.
And it's fine. And they get that immediate feedback each week. They know why they would have lost against certain people. And it's just a way for you to set, because you shouldn't set the goal of being number one in Australia. You need to set yourself a few goals along the way. And that's what I think ELO allows you to do. There has been some bad behaviour that's been brought out of it, though. And you've kind of raised that before about how some people feel a bit pressured or stressed by it.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a thing. I've noticed, I guess it's been called ELO camping, where people won't want to go to tournaments because they don't want to risk losing their ELO. But what I feel like is that even if the ELO system wasn't there, if those games are going to get counted towards power rankings or any other system, the same kind of behaviours going to happen. I do think it's important to have tournaments in a scene that don't count towards ELO. So I know we've got is it Wednesday nights in QUT? There's something I think there's a
Yes, I think it's the Wednesday night fights.
Yeah, because
it's the Tuesday night fights. No, but it's the Wednesday tournament.
It's the Wednesday one because Tuesday's on the Gold Coast. I think having ones that are a little bit more casual, that aren't so pressure, where you can try out new mains and stuff. I think that's a good idea. But ultimately, like if you lose ELO, the only person that's really going to care is yourself.
Yeah.
And players do seem to put a lot of their value in their ELO, and that's what I think people just need to learn to not do. I know if I have a really bad week, I just won't look at it the next week. Ignorance is bliss.
I haven't looked at it in a long time.
Yeah.
100%.
And I feel like once players get to a certain level, they just kind of stop caring about it naturally. It's like, well, I've already beaten most of the PR people in my state. Like, what do I care about?
I choose my goals. Yeah, I don't really have that much motivation.
It's kind of a bit of a choose your own adventure. The old ELO system.
I was surprised that you came out like that, and yet, I understand there's problems, because I was sort of expecting to be like, no, suck it up. Like, if you put your own investment into ELO, then that's your fault. But no, it's interesting that you've got such a understanding view of it.
Most of the things I do on the site, I don't try and think of what I want it to do. I try and think of the behaviour I want it to drive.
Yeah, how people are going to react to it.
So, and if ELO is helping people set micro goals and just giving them validation, putting that against the bad behaviour of some people who get really good might start skipping tournaments, but they might be doing that anyway. I feel like that balances itself out.
All right. So, you got any plans of adding anything new to it? Since there is like a shift for it at the moment away from the forums and sort of the social gatherings and more towards the data. Do you have any plans of like maybe fantasy?
So that's
Smash.
So I do have a long-term thing I'd like to do that is a fantasy thing for mages. I've been trying to put in. I've set away now to flag mages in the system so that if I want to treat them specially, I can. Yep. I was hoping I'd be able to get a bit more information about upcoming mages, but it just seems a bit difficult at this point. Yeah. But fantasy draft is something that I would really like to do, but that's a very difficult system to implement.
Yeah.
Currently, the thing that is taking multiple months that I'm just slowly working through is a dark theme.
Oh yes.
I don't think people understand.
God bless.
I don't think people understand how difficult that is. Just with the amount of different components I have on there. It's even little things like the graphs I have there. I'm drawing with JavaScript, and if I do a dark theme, I need to manually start sending stuff into the scripts that change the background of the graph, or else you end up with white graphs. It's just so many little things to work through. But I feel like I've come to a point where all of the big major critical things that I can think of are basically there. When I did the rebuild of it, there was a few things I wanted to do, like change the back end of it so it's not storing data in TO files anymore.
Oh, yep.
So I've completely shed that off, and it's given me a lot of flexibility in how I do stuff. I wanted to integrate Twitch, which I can do now, so that if someone's streaming, that it just picks that up automatically on the front page. Discord was another thing. I wanted to add, and TrueSkill was the other major one. So TrueSkill is just like ELO, but for teams. So that gives some people like teams more than singles. So that just gives them another number to...
Teams, the historic overlooked part about Smash for a really long time.
Yeah.
One of the things that separates us from other fighting games.
Yes.
But also, people sort of don't rock up for the teams early in the morning, and maybe they don't watch it because they want to watch their favorite players. But I think you quite like teams.
I do enjoy teams.
I even remember when I played at I can't remember what it was, but it was at that venue in the city, and you teamed with Jesmo, and you had a couple of really funny setups. Like you would hold him up with Megaman, and then he'd knee the person when you grabbed them. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do some silly
Smash
stuff
box.
in teams.
That was it.
I do like, I feel like Mega Man's a good character in teams where I can be stuck 1v2, and the amount of times I've killed both of them, it's just...
1v2 is invigorating.
Yeah, I've just done that so many times that I almost expect it now. Probably one of my favourite things is when I went down to Wollongong, I teamed with Jace, and he was playing Rosalina, and we were trying to track down this Sonic player that I think was Killy, and we just couldn't get near him, and Jace just whispers in my ear, charge a forward smash, and I'm like, I see where this is going. Yeah. So I charge a forward smash at him, and Sonic runs past, and then he just absorbs it with Rosalina's down B, and it spins around him and hits the Sonic, and I'm like, yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't do that in singles, but that's... Yeah.
But you did get a little bit messed up by one of those instances. I remember like that classic clip was when you up air.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I just looked back. I remember looking back at that, and like 2 seconds after it happened, I was yelling at him. And I'm like, I probably shouldn't have been doing that. No, hang on. I was right to yell at Jace.
Yeah.
That was so rude.
Oh, this is a good memory. You're obviously happy then that Rosalina is a shadow of her former self in Ultimate.
I don't... Yes, I feel like I was getting able to handle her, but I'm kind of scared. I feel like her new Nares made her a bit more aggressive, and I'm scared of an aggressive Rosalina, and I just don't think... I've played Invisi's Rosalina online, and it was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
And if he took it further, or if I had to play a really good one, I'm probably more scared of it, because when Rosalina's played as a wall, it wasn't that big a problem to me.
Yeah.
But aggro characters just are not my cup of tea, so thinking of her doing that...
It's a little bit rough, because she's going to be sucking up all your...
Yeah.
Your bits and pieces.
That's not fun.
Yeah. How about then, let's talk meta.
Okay.
Real quick. What do you think, which character do you think is the most likely surprise up-and-comer that's going to be starting to hit the annoying levels of good?
Which character?
Yeah, do you reckon Joker's just like completely broken and just going to start sweeping through brackets, or do you reckon there's a character that a lot of people are sleeping on right now?
Oh, I'm quite terrible with these overall meta things.
Meta predictions?
Yeah.
I mean, most people are, honestly. Like, when Cloud first came out, we thought he was mid-tier. When Bayonetta came out, we were like, high-tier at best.
Yeah, Cloud's one of those characters... I was actually thinking Cloud, like, before you said that. Cloud's one of those characters that he's not as good as he was in 4, but...
People are starting to realize that he's actually really good.
I feel like Ness could potentially be underrated.
Yeah.
He just seems so slippery. But he does have trouble getting in against some characters. But one of his biggest problems was he was quite easy to gimp. And with him now having the longest directional air dodge in the game, I just never seem to be able to gimp a Ness. And he can kill off a grab quite easily. So that's always important. Toon Link as well is one. Not Toon Link, sorry, Young Link.
But Toon Link is still coming up. People are sort of saying that, maybe he's not the worst Link.
That's tricky. I just feel like with Young Link, he's one of those characters that people say have a lot of trouble killing, and I respect that he does, but I've just seen Toon Links that seem to make me feel like he's got so many setups that
he's deadly.
Yeah, that if he's got good speed, he's got good his sword, he's got a little sword. And if he can get his setups, then he seems to be able to kill. But I don't know, maybe they're just not reliable and I'm not DIing them correctly. I don't really know. Inkling's a character that I still think is really, really good. And Inkling just...
Because I think
the edge guarding.
Yeah, that is a shining point. But I reckon she's been falling.
That's why I think people... I just...
Yeah, you think she's underrated because sort of falling off a bit.
I don't know, maybe it's just because I went watching Cosmos when he came here and just...
Being like, what the hell do you do?
Yeah, it's just a brutal character. But I think I see everything in the game through the eyes of Megaman. So
yeah,
I feel like I've probably got a bias against characters that do well against me because I wouldn't know characters that don't. Oh, Pikachu's another one.
Yeah,
Pikachu I think is just Shmoo won the monthly in New South Wales. Makes me feel a lot better about losing to him in Gong. But yeah, it's a good thing they buffed Pikachu's grab range recently because he's got those 60% combos off a grab.
Fantastic. Can't wait to get hit by more of those.
And his dash attack kills, so...
And he can still camp with the...
Shmoo camped me. I got camped, so... And not only can he camp, but when he decides to go in, he can cover the distance so quickly with quick attack.
Yeah.
And then he's just got a lot of... He's got a lot of stuff that could just drag you off stage into unfavourable positions. I know Roy players seem to hate that matchup.
Yep.
I know I hate that matchup. I don't know many people that like it. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's like, fuck Pikachu in the chat. Yeah, we see you. Yeah, I think a lot of people might pick him up after hearing that.
Yeah.
They might be like, because he's not, I don't know, he's got some difficult combos, some intricate combos, but he seems to have like a level at every stage, and the base level is actually really good as well. Like if you just know how to camp and you know how to get in with quick attack and you get those up tilted grabs, you're set. Yeah, so he's looking scary. On the flip side, do you have any characters that you think were initially overrated and are going to start dropping down the ranks? Because I reckon I originally thought Inkling.
I feel like this is going against a bit of a meme, but possibly Lucina.
Yeah. I can see that.
I feel like Lucina's a very solid character. She's quite strong overall.
Yeah.
But there's nothing about her that is overly oppressive when you compare. She's got a consistency.
Yeah.
But
she's got a very good ability to let good players shine when you understand fundamentals quite well. Yeah. Because you don't have to rely on tippers like you did with Marth historically.
Yep.
And she was just more unsafe in Smash 4.
Yeah.
So now you can sort of play more walling out or aggressive depending on how you want to feel, and she sort of allows that. I completely understand that.
She requires really good spacing, but I feel like once... there's something about her that feels like... I feel like there's a lot of room to develop with that character, but her kit is just so basic. Maybe it's because everything just looks like swinging a sword to me that I can't see how much further it goes.
I reckon if you slap her into high tier, no one will like blink an eye. They'll be like, yeah, high tier is good, but if you start putting her in like top tier, like top 3, sort of like, well, what does she sort of have over, like, does she have anything that's just gonna oppress you completely?
Yep.
Top 3 says Sick Nick. Yeah, all right. All right. No, I think one of the characters we might talk about a little bit, because we have, I think, 4 Captain Falcon players.
They've popped up a lot since the buff, haven't they?
Are you scared of any of them, or are they?
Yeah. So I know I've had some quite explosive games against Konzo's Falcon, so a little bit nervous that he's decided to pick him back up again.
Yeah.
I think I've got Iroh's Falcon down for the moment.
Xeno.
Yeah, I haven't played Xeno's.
Yeah, he's hit and miss in the tournament sometimes.
And Flex has taken a set off me with Falcon before.
Yeah.
So I know he's been playing Meta Knight more now, but I think I've seen him play a bit of Falcon again.
Yeah, he's sort of been touching it back up, I think.
Yeah, so I think the 2 I'd be most scared of at this point would be Flex and Konzo.
Yeah.
I just haven't been hit by the new knee hitbox repeatedly yet, but I'm sure once it is, I'll be crying.
Take it from someone who plays against Iroh, it's kind of obnoxious.
Yeah.
There's no, I think there's a complete less timing needed to land with it.
Yeah.
Because it's like up where his chest is, so if you mistime it, you sort of get it anyways, which is ridiculous.
He's just got the speed to get in. I think Mega Man's biggest weakness, as much as I want to say it's reflectors, I think it's actually just speed, because if you're going to sit on the other stage and use a reflector, then I know how to work around that. But if you're really fast and you can break my zone, then that is actually more threatening than just standing there reflecting what I'm just not going to throw back at you.
I mean, you've always said that the reflector just makes you have to respond to somebody else. Like,
Yes.
you're still giving control in the matchup to the person with the projectiles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I was talking about how he's going to get you. I thought maybe we should move on to one of the segments that we've got planned. So
let's
we
do
can't
this.
really do an explain this image because there's no questionable... Well, I didn't do much research into it. Maybe there are quite a lot of questionable images. We probably could have gone onto Facebook. Wait, do you have an explain this image ready? Jet? Maybe. Possibly he does. Oh my god. All right, so I won't even know any of these because I knew the previous images.
Uh-oh.
So I'm excited now. We've got some images ready to go. I think we'll do that one first because now I'm excited for it.
Okay.
Oh, don't tell me they're the really early images of like the very, very, what do I call them? Prehistoric tournaments.
Oh, I don't know what this could be now. There's not generally many images of me out there. I go away from the camera, so...
Sorry, I didn't ask for your consent to post that little Twitter video I put up earlier.
No, and I'll be suing you after the show.
Explain this image. There you go, everybody. That's the jingle from now on. I can't do jingles for this, but we're getting there. All right, so those of you who don't know the rules of the game, if you're just listening in, there's an image here that Shitashi's going to have to explain. Now I'm going to scooch up a little bit. It looks like here that we've got two almost unrecognizable young men sitting together on some chairs at a tournament of some unknown destination. Can you speak to who these gentlemen are here, Chris?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is 12-year-old Jesmo.
12 years old?
Yep, that was Jesmo when he was... I think that was the first... Brawl tournament in Queensland Brawl Buddies. It would have been held in, I think, the first few months of Brawl being released. So at that point, I'd never met Jesmo before. I think I was maybe 22, 23.
2008.
Would have been 22. So we would play online on that MMGN site, and we knew each other from that. And I said I was going to this tournament, and he said he was going to come too. I had no idea he was such a small child, but it was all fine. And we agreed to team up. So the first tournament we both went to, we entered in teams. I think we did terribly, but we had a lot of fun, which is really good. It's my first time really meeting someone off the internet.
Yep.
I think it's just one of the things that I miss about it is that you can, like, you know, we'd dribble stuff on the forum, and it's like you genuinely connect with people, and it's not like age, race, ethnicity, any of that is a barrier. You just connect with people over Smash. So it was just good to meet him in real life. And one of the funniest things was that he lived in Coffs Harbour at the time.
Oh yeah.
So and I'm like, what's a 12-year-old from Coffs Harbour doing here? But his whole family drove him up, his mum and his sisters, and they were like on the side cheering. His mum's really cool. I still love her to this day, the Jazz mum. But yeah, so that was a long time ago. Now he's basically a little bit of history in the scene. So he's played for a bit, and he doesn't really play Ultimate that much anymore. But
were you proud of him when he started to do that well?
Yeah, no, that was proud, a little bit of jealousy, but he worked for it.
Yeah.
Just because he started at the same time as me, and then all of a sudden he was like a force within Australia. But he just had the drive. He worked hard for it, and it's just good that if you put effort in, that you get results. And he's just,
in a way, a bit of your prodigy. Do you reckon we don't really have that as much now that we've got so many competing players? We don't have players sort of like...
If I were to call him a prodigy, it'd kind of insinuate that I trained him. I think I trained with him, but I don't think I trained him. He did all of it himself. He'd just go out and learn stuff and theory craft and figure stuff out and practice and grind. And he's his own creation. So
what were the rules back then?
The rules?
Did they have it? Because I see someone's playing the Link stage in the background there. Was that a legal stage?
I don't remember that stage ever being legal.
So he's just doing some casuals in the background.
Probably just some friendlies.
Right.
It was back when we all had to carry the old CRTs around.
Did it have a longer timer back then? Did you have to...
I don't even remember the timer. The timer was something I don't think I ever... Oh, actually, no. The timer happened once in a game against Jace, right at the end when I was playing Samus and he was Peach. And and I think he was on like 200%. One of us was on like a really high percent, and he just had the percent lead, so he ran away from me for like the past 15 seconds. And that was, I think, my first ever timeout. but it was not in my favour. It
Yeah.
was against me, and I think that's when I realised this is what you might have to do.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to do from now on.
Yeah.
The evil. No, that's, wow.
Yeah, there's a throwback.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Whew, there's more.
Yeah.
All right.
Explain this image. Sorry, everyone. That one was the worst. Oh my god! Hold on, I can't read the text there. Wait.
I'm getting revenge.
When
for
the
this.
bottle O closes before you get there, and you are performing some sort of sono no jutsu with your hands there about him.
Oh, that was quite upsetting. So I love Perth. Perth's probably one of the most fun I've had to fun place I've been to. I can't wait to go there next week. But
Yep.
their bottle shops suck. So it was the after party there. I think it was Smesty. Either he didn't organise it or he organised it to finish at 9 o'clock or something. For some reason, the after party there wasn't really a thing. So when you got that many smashers that want to have an after party, I think Phil jumped in and said, "Oh, everyone back to my place." So basically, a bunch of people were getting drinks to go back to Phil's place. And I can't remember. I think I went to get food with Boozer and Leisha or something, but for some reason I wasn't proactive in getting drinks. And when I finally did find the bottle shop, I went up there where everyone else was, and just as I walk up there, they shut the door on me.
Oh.
And I was just like, it's unfortunate. But then everyone seemed to think that, oh, look, the bottle shop just timed out Shitashi. So then everyone just starts yelling at the top of their lungs, time him out. And I'm like, oh, okay. I can't fight this. So yeah, sure. Time out Shitashi. Yeah, you're
That's
also
so
funny. So yeah, there's a video of that, and I was not impressed. But next week I will be getting to that bottle shop before closing time, and I'll have the last laugh.
Yeah. You going to Big Win?
Yes, I'm so excited. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I hear a lot of people going.
I can't believe the flights cost me $800.
Whoa!
Yeah, I should have gotten in a lot earlier, but it took me nearly 2 months to get the time off work. So
Yeah, no, I completely understand that.
could have probably saved another 150 or 200 if I got the flight from the Gold Coast, but I don't feel like turning a 5-hour commute into like an 8-hour one.
Yeah,
So
and you got to pay for the fuel anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Or you just catch a train and bus
yeah.
and die. So yeah, that was fun.
You reckon they'll have something prepared maybe? Now that you've mentioned it again, they'll sort of be like, oh, that's right. And then they get to the store and be like, time out again.
I'm gonna be there before. I'm gonna have this organised like that day or the day before. Yeah,
the duty free. You're going to the international airport. All sorted out. Okay, so yeah, if you're wondering anyone at home, Perth, fantastic tournament. Shitashi gives it his highest recommendations. Just make sure you get to the bottle shop on time. All right, let's move on to the next image. Explain this image. That was also awful. I'm not on my game today. Well, they've all been awful, but I know this one.
Oh, that was some good times. I'm going to get the timeline on this a little bit messed up with regards to the states, but that was, I think, one of the first times I went to Victoria with other Queenslanders, because I went down there once for Brawl by myself, and that was fun. But I went down there in Smash 4 with some of the Queensland boys. As you can see there, there's Seymour Butts, Kavar, and Weeb. And I think that was after the after party. I'm pretty sure it was. Because it was late. Like, I remember walking through the city really late and just feeling quite rowdy. And they had this thing, and it's like a little, it's not a river, what is it? It's just a wall of water. And people had stuck leaves on it. And I'm like, oh, that's really cute. I'm going to deface it. So, it seemed like a good idea at maybe 1 a.m. So I'm like, oh, what can I do? I know, Queensland. So basically put a bunch of leaves up there and took a photo.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know which order it happened in after this, but that night on Twitter, I found out that some other people from, I don't know who it was first, but it was either New South Wales or Victoria, but they went past and apparently were like, oh, Queensland can't have this shit, so ripped it down and put New South Wales up and then took a photo. And then later on, the other side came through and ripped their one down and put that state up. So I feel like I started something that night.
Something beautiful.
Something that carried on for the rest of the night. States fighting over the statesmanship of that waterfall. But yeah, feel like I can see I was a little bit drunk there, but
No.
had a lot of I was definitely having a lot of fun, and I mean, I don't endorse graffiti, but I feel like that would have washed away, so it was fine.
Leaf graffiti's fine.
Yeah, leaf graffiti. Yeah, just
Let's
a
get
couple
that
from my
started up.
shield.
You reckon when Sunny Side Up comes around that we'll start doing some egg graffiti?
I don't know about that.
That's kind of questionable. That's going to be a nightmare for people who don't know what that smell is when they walk by.
I think I'm just concerned about Ben Gold getting egged. Isn't he like offering out money for that?
I have heard that.
Pay money, crack an egg on Ben Gold's head. Like, how many people are going to say no to that? No one.
I would say no to that.
I mean, I'm one of the few, but I can imagine a lot of the interstaters on the heck Ben Gold train wanting to.
I was just thinking I'd do it for free and then see what happens. Like, try and sneak one in there.
I don't think anything would come of it. So
yeah, exactly. Nobody do that. Everyone pay Ben Gold if you're going to egg him, please. I don't want to encourage that. All right, do we have another image? All right.
Oh,
let's move on
God.
to that one. Because we've got some nice stuff. We're getting that. Heck, Ben Gold. Explain the image. That's that. We're going to keep that going. Oh, what's this one?
So this is where my username comes from.
Oh, yeah.
So I've had I've had 3 different usernames that I've gone by. Most people that know me through Smash 4 have only known me as Shitashi, but when I first joined the scene, I was DJ Kion, which is why some people knew me as Kion. That used to be, I used to do a little bit of DJing on the Gold Coast, and I kind of wanted that to be a bit separate from Smash. So, I wanted that to kind of, I just wanted to separate them. So I changed my name to Raven, just with a 4. I don't know, I just like the bird from the Edgar Allan Poe poem. Yeah, that was the one. But I didn't really feel like that stuck. And then Arrow, this is a meme that Arrow posted at some point, and he just posted something about but secretly I was Shitashi, and is it something in that? There's something in there really resonated with me, and the thing that I felt was it's about an owl, and it's just this little bird sitting up in a tree, and someone's gone up to see him like he's this wise old thing when really he's just a dumb bird, and I guess that's what I related to. I've always been one of the older people in the scene, like
people look up to you for that wisdom.
Yeah, and I feel like people have been like, "Oh, you're so old and you're so wise," but simultaneously at my job, I was the youngest programmer there, and I was constantly getting told how I was young and naive and how I was stupid. So I'm like, how can I be wise and old but young and naive, or just young and stupid? And I'm simultaneously both. So I guess just that comic kind of resonated with me. Yeah. But the really difficult thing was when I decided to have my name as Shitashi, it was in Smash 4 wouldn't let you put shit in the name because it was a swear word. Oh. So I'm like, I've changed my name, that's it. But then I still had to use a different username, player names, because it wouldn't let me put my actual name in there. Yeah. So I could do it on my Brawl setup because Shitashi I put in Japanese. But I couldn't do it on other setups. I had to keep using Kion or Raven. But thankfully, they fixed that in Smash Ultimate. So yeah, that's from the Perry, I think it's Perry Bible Fellowship or something. That's from a comic, and it's got really dark humor. And if you find any other ones on there, they're actually like quite hilarious. You can just go through the whole thing and have a giggle. So I'd recommend that.
That actually really resonates with me for another reason. It actually reminds me of Crash Bandicoot quite a lot.
Crash Bandicoot.
All the villains in Crash treat him like he's like some sort of superhero that's like sort of destroying everybody. But the entire time you're playing, like he'll finish a level and wipe his brow and be like, "Holy shit, I survived that." He's just a constant goof. But yeah, no, I completely understand that sort of love. It's a really actually complicated feeling to understand.
Yeah.
I can't say I've experienced it, but yeah. Though I am getting treated more of like a veteran the other day. I had Spammage.
You're a Smash 4 veteran.
It's weird.
There's kids in the Smash scene that are like, "Oh yeah, you've been here since Smash 4. What was it like?"
Someone's like, "Are you the podcast guy?" When I was at tournament on Saturday, I was like, "What the hell?" No, I'm Cap. Like, shouldn't you know me? Like, what's going on here? And then Spammage, I was talking about Ken, was like, "Oh, sorry, who are you?" Damn, I've been out of the game. Anyway, is that all the images that we've got? Yeah, okay. So no more of that segment. That was fantastic. Thank you very much. Yeah, so you've got quite a history. I don't think we have quite enough images to sort of represent you.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you're avoiding the camera, like you said.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're planning to stick around a little bit. I know you take breaks quite often when something's just like becoming frustrating and you don't really enjoy the game as much, but you do still run the Ausmash, QLD Smash, and
I've
you're still part of the
I've
community.
taken breaks off during Brawl to because I've worked in hospitality and that was quite difficult to get weekends off.
Yeah.
And I think I did it towards the end of Smash 4 because I had a feeling that the Switch was out, and I had a feeling that Smash wasn't far around the corner. So basically, I took almost a year off just to rebuild the site because the whole thing got rebuilt from scratch. So I think I know how to pace myself so that I don't need to take breaks for reasons other than that.
You're going to stay on top as a QLD top player now then?
I don't know. It's pretty hard.
I don't know. I feel like you're always going to be a gatekeeper to that top level.
Yeah,
of play.
I'm happy to be a gatekeeper. If I slip out of the top 10, then that'll be fine. I think that'll be more so because other people are getting good than I'm getting bad. So I'm okay with that. And it's really interesting. It's both exciting and scary to just see how quickly some of the newer people are getting better. And even just people from Smash 4. So I do want to stick around. I've got a lot to... see, I'm interested in Smash DLC, how that takes it. I'm interested to see if there's going to be more than one DLC pack.
Yeah, I feel like the fact that they mentioned it being a pack sort of implies that there's going to be a next set.
I mean, Nintendo likes printing money, don't they?
But that's crazy. The amount of characters that they're putting in there. I feel like the game, like we got a decent amount of DLC in Smash 4, but we're talking like 10 characters for 2 packs at this point. If we're considering there's going to be another 5, that seems like a ridiculous amount of characters.
And also
in the game.
considering that any of the DLC that they're putting in, they're not like, oh, this character that like Mewtwo that wasn't in Smash 4, we're adding him back. All the DLC is new characters.
Yeah.
They also, Sakurai said it's been proven that having a character in Smash has an advertising effect for the game. I'm sure that putting Banjo-Kazooie in Smash would just open a floodgate to either a Banjo-Kazooie remake, a re-release of the original, or a brand new game. I think that, why haven't we got Persona 5 on Switch? I'm sure Dragon Quest is going to get a lot more interest because they're putting the hero in.
They got a couple of games coming out as well.
Yes, I don't see a reason why they should stop releasing characters anytime soon, other than Sakurai falling over and dying, which is possible.
He seems like a very hard-worked man.
He doesn't age a day.
He's semi-immortal. I will pull it out there, yeah. I don't understand how he does it, honestly. And a lot of the characters have so much polish. But do you reckon these DLC characters come out and we sort of underrate them, or we don't really understand them because of how many characters are and the matchup's different? So
yeah, it's hard. I feel like a lot of people are pretty harsh on DLC characters, but I think as a developer we kind of look through it and go, oh yeah, we've had the game for 2 months, how could you not know that this thing was overpowered and broken? It's so obvious. But they're probably working with a team of a handful of testers. That could still be like 15 to 20 people. But they're probably more focused on things like, I need to make it so that when I use Cloud's cross/limit and someone else is using a final smash, that it doesn't glitch out the entire game, or just the amount of things that's in the scope for testing. I feel like that always should be taking priority, so the character that can come out and not break the game. They still do need to focus on balancing, but the amount of
glitches.
Whoa.
Oh no, exploits.
It's the amount of I think it's the amount of, I guess, testing that we do as a community. Like when you release Joker and he goes out into the world, you will have over 1 million people. Probably, like, if I judge by GSP, there's like easily 4 or 5 million people playing Smash. Probably not at the same time, but just people that have Smash. And those people in a week could get more data on how Joker is than a small team could get in like 3 months.
It's impossible to sort of compete with that.
So I guess, like, I'm definitely burnt by Bayonetta and Cloud being so broken in Smash 4. So
I just feel like they needed more patches. I feel like they gave up at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were sort of like, we're done here, and there was no need for that. I feel like they could have just waited.
They did that so that they could work on Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, which we didn't know at the time, because Sakurai did say that Smash 4 was the last game he would ever make.
It's always the last game, and I like that mentality, because if you go, well, I need to save something for the sequel. You're not going to go all out. I'm
Really?
scared. I'm scared to think of what a sequel to this game would look like.
Yeah,
How
it's
are you
true.
going to top this?
It's impossible. That's I never thought of it like that. He does think of every game like it's his last, so that he can make it as good as possible.
Yep.
Yeah. No, but people saying the Joker is the best character in the game right now. Do you reckon that's sort of true?
That's an interesting one. So, yeah, I don't know. There hasn't been a clear best character in the game at all. Like, since the game's come out, it's gone back and forth. And what it seems to mirror is which player in the US is getting the best results.
Yeah.
So right now, MK Leo seems unstoppable. And I think that's probably causing a lot of people to think that.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know if I'm even right here, but I feel like he could do the same thing with Lucina or even Ike.
Yeah, he's a god.
I get the feeling he could pull out Isabel and do the same thing. That's just who he is. So I don't know how to separate Joker from
MK Leo.
MK Leo.
Yeah.
When Joker came out, I was very scared of him. I saw when they showed off his moveset, and I'm like, oh, good. It's just Cloud on steroids.
Yeah.
I hate this character already, but he does have... He is a lot more watered down when he doesn't have Arsene.
Yeah, which I thought was really nice.
And there is ways to engage with him to like get Arsene down quickly.
Yeah.
Or do there's just more counterplay to it than I feel like there was with Cloud. So I guess I haven't seen a Joker as optimized as he could be. Maybe I haven't been watching MK Leo, so I haven't seen the specific sets that he's had.
Do you watch a lot of sets?
Sometimes I don't watch much, but I'm probably a bit picky. I'm probably just a bit time poor.
Yeah.
It's probably what it is. But
That's completely understandable.
yeah, but I don't. I'm having trouble seeing. I couldn't tell you who I think is the best character in the game.
Yeah.
And the tier list being linear is not. I don't feel like skill is linear, and I don't always feel like tier lists are linear, because if Joker is the best character in the game, he may have 4 or 5 bad matchups. But then there might be those characters that beat him might also lose to a bunch of different ones. It tends to be a bit circular in that sense to me.
Yeah, and since you have so many characters, it's really hard to understand like where those characters come out, because like Joker could lose to a low tier. Like
Exactly.
we said originally, like Sheik lost to Kirby.
Yep.
Way back when, but it was like you would never see a Kirby in the scene, because just so low tier. But yeah, no, I completely understand that. So, what do you reckon for the next DLC then? Who do you think's got a good shot?
Oh, this is an interesting thing. So, I think the most logical one, based on like rumors as well as what I think makes sense.
Rumors?
Yeah, we've all heard about that guy that's been predicting stuff, Vergibin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's been pretty spot on, so he seems to be the only one that knows. I think Doom Guy probably makes the most sense.
Really?
Yeah, so...
Because it's the syncing of the release.
Possibly, but probably more so his significance to gaming history. So if you look at the characters that Sakurai's adding in, quite a lot of them aren't even just significant to Nintendo. Like, we're past that point. Cloud was not significant to Nintendo, but Final Fantasy VII was significant to gaming history.
Pac-Man, Megaman, and Street Fighter characters as well like seem to be at a different significance level for Nintendo.
So Doom Guy representing Doom, I think, is there really... There's not really like a first-person shooter.
No, that is the original. The only other one they would think of probably...
Master Chief?
Master Chief was a huge influence, but id Software actually made Wolfenstein before they made...
As well, but you don't want to put Nazis or...
Yeah, they can't do that one. Yeah,
That's not appropriate. I think they could do a bunch of cool things, like the way in Doom, how when you took damage, your face kind of started to get a bit bloody. They could do that with his character portrait.
He's got so many different tools and weapons as well. Yeah, so
his ultimate would have to be the BFG 9000.
That would be a sick ultimate.
Yeah, so I think he makes sense. I'd personally like to see... I think I've been a bit of a Shovel Knight fan lately, so
oh my god, yeah.
I've spent definitely 2 solid days trying to think through a Shovel Knight move. Shovel Knight, not Shovel Knight. The other Knight.
Spectre? No,
no.
You would love
Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight.
Oh.
I said the completely wrong game. Hollow Knight. So that's got no chance, but I think I can just see the moveset really well. And I'm blown away by that being a game built by a small indie studio in Adelaide.
Yeah.
So seeing an Adelaide studio get something that big in, I think would be amazing. I've been watching Cuphead. I've been meaning to play that. That seems to be quite an interesting
Yep.
one.
It's pretty difficult from what I hear, but...
Yeah, and the other one that I think that has an outside chance is someone from Undertale.
Ooh.
I mean, I know Undertale's got a big Japanese following because that game's been translated into Japanese. They've got new games coming out. It's quirky, like it suits the... I don't know who you'd even put in. Like, would you put in Sans? 'Cause Sans is pretty crazy. Would you put the protagonist? There's a few options there, but I don't know if that one's big enough or significant enough to put in. But, I mean, is Banjo that big or relevant anymore?
He's an NA.
He's popular, but...
Yeah, but he's not... Yeah, I think Banjo was, like, really voted for in the polls, though.
And constantly, like, ever since then, he's been popular. So... We're kind of at a point... Well, to me personally, I have trouble thinking of characters to add into this game. It's already such a museum of gaming history that it's not like we're scraping the barrel. It's just, well, like anyone... There's so many good games out there that you could just draw stuff from. So, I'd probably put my money on Doom Guy, though. He's the one I feel...
He's a huge significant factor.
He's got history.
Yeah, and now he's, like, solely owned by Bethesda as well. Like, the id Software, they actually can lease him out. Like, there was sort of a stage where it was sort of like, oh, you'd have to get through id Software, but a lot of people own the IP. We're now working for Microsoft.
I thought it was really good that Sakurai said that the first time he'd worked with an external developer was for Banjo-Kazooie, and that it was actually easier for him than trying to get the rights for Dragon Quest.
Oh.
And I'm like, this is reassuring. I'm sure we've got lots more Western franchises that you could pick from. So
Microsoft has actually said quite a lot recently, as well as PlayStation, that they want to be more not inclusive, but like they want to sort of spread their games and the way that they do business.
They're integrating things cross-play, with Minecraft and that.
Yeah, they want to be more of a cloud service going forward.
Yep.
So they're sort of like, I don't know if they're letting go of the consoles, but they don't want to be as competitive like in that way, like nasty sort of like we will do exclusives and you're not allowed to touch the IPs and stuff like that. And which makes a lot of sense anyways, because this is all my opinion, but like Nintendo has the best IPs anyway.
Yep.
Like they were just...
That's what they've built themselves on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so ridiculous to sort of be like, no, you can't touch ours when like it would only be an advantage for you to get into Smash.
Yeah.
But if Microsoft did put it in, I mean, they've got Banjo and Kazooie, which is really rareware, but that makes me think Halo Chief has a chance as well.
Has Master Chief ever been on a Nintendo console, though? Is that still a rule?
Yeah. He's only ever been on Xbox. He's only now being ported to the PC.
Because even Cloud was in, what was it, Kingdom Hearts or some...
Yeah.
And the Joker character's been in some Persona cross-up thing on 3DS, I think. So I don't know whether it's still a rule that you have to have appeared in a Nintendo game, but if it is, I can't see how. If it is, then I can't see Master Chief getting in. But he's definitely significant, so
he would be a cool character.
Sakurai just breaks his own rules constantly, so who knows?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. He said that he just he gets the suggestions from like the people within the company, and then he does the final say. He's not the one picking them himself.
I've made good choices so far, so
yeah. You excited for Banjo or the Hero? Did you play either of those games?
I'm really not looking forward to Hero. I'm sick of them announcing characters, and in the they show in the trailer some mechanism where they're just doing nothing and blocking projectiles. Like with Simon's, how Megaman's shooting him and he's spinning his whip. Well, they've done it again. This guy's got a shield like Link, and he just stands there and blocks projectiles. So
Yikes.
I already hate him. He looks like he's got swordies are hard to deal with, and he looks like he's got quite a lot of special moves, but then I read in an interview that his moves are selected at random. I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know how.
I haven't heard that.
I don't know if that was translated correctly, but
that would be crazy.
Yeah, if you can't pick what special move you want to use, then that's quite concerning. So I'm just gonna wait until I see that one.
Yeah.
Banjo, I'm honestly not that excited for Banjo himself. I'm happy for everyone that's excited for him. But I like the game and I like the character, but it's nothing there that I just hope the character loses to Megaman, really.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot of what it is, eh? You're just like, I hope this character isn't busted. I just want to poo on him a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just a selfish view. I've got the character I wanted since I was a kid, so everything else is a bonus.
That's fair enough. Speaking of characters we want as a kid, you didn't even mention Crash Bandicoot as a potential
character.
That's
That's actually, you've mentioned it a few times. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot's got a lot of history.
I don't think he has as much of a chance.
I think he's got a chance. He represents, like, in the early era of the console wars, the it was like Sonic and Mario, but then when PlayStation came out, Crash would have been the
icon.
The icon
Same
for that.
with Spyro.
Yeah, Spyro's another. Whoa, they're all.
Beanox makes both Spyro and Crash, so they would be able to, or they don't make, but they are involved with the game, so they would be able to like have the IP be done. The biggest problem I have with Crash, I think, is the only he's an icon, but the only innovative thing that they did with the games was a technical limitation where they put a lot in the PlayStation, but they only rendered like a certain part of the game at once. So like a lot of games on the PlayStation would load the whole level during a loading
They did
screen.
that with Spyro. I remember seeing a video on the tech of that, yeah.
So that was the only real thing that they were like, when they took it to an E3 demo, someone was like, wow, this is impressive. How do you fit so much on the screen? That was the only thing. Everything else is sort of like being done before, 3D platforming. Yeah, so
that was still iconic though. People associate it with gaming. Like you're obviously a bit of a fanboy. They're still releasing games. What was it, Crash Team Racing?
Yeah,
why is everyone playing that?
Oh, it's just a good game. It's a more fun version of Mario. I think the biggest thing is like you can drift and then go boost on your drift.
More fun version of Mario Kart's a big call.
Yeah, no, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, you try it and then you'll believe me. Trust me, I have 100% confidence in that.
Yeah, rightio.
I played Mario Kart 8 the other day and I was just like, oh.
The ultimate casual game.
Yeah, I got blue shelled. That's probably what it was. Yeah. Yeah, but no, I think we can move on to the next section after that because we could talk about DLC all day.
Yes.
Personally, I love the gaming industry, but
It's
I think
good.
we've got something called the Ganon's Advocate coming up.
Yes, it's interesting.
So I explained this to you earlier, but I'm going to re-explain it for the people in the chat, is that you're given a topic that you have to argue, and I argue against you. Now, I've done 3 topics because it's an experimental thing and I just want to see how long I can push it and see how much I can irritate you maybe. But the two ones, there's 2 ones that are pretty easy to argue and we've actually talked about one of them already. Mm-hmm. And then there's a 3rd one that I'm not sure that you'll like arguing, but we'll see how that goes. Do we have a... Okay, yeah, we've got Ganon's Advocate lined up here.
Okay.
All right, so the first one is... playing defensive is the most optimal way to play in Smash Ultimate.
I need to argue that?
You need to argue that. So, like I said, this is an easy one, right?
Oh, yeah, one-liner, bro. Don't get hit.
Yeah, you reckon that's true? Because I know a lot of the time that sometimes you have an opportunity to approach and you can seize it. And a lot of players will criticize you for this, where you can get the advantage, but you choose to play 100% defensive. Do you reckon you waste some opportunities that way, or is it more that you have to be 100%?
So arguing for that, I'd say you really do want to be avoiding taking damage, and I think there's probably also a mental thing that if you're not taking damage, you're kind of unless your opponent's doing the same thing, you're making them put them into a position to take damage so that they can try and put it on you.
Yeah.
If you get the ideal situation, you get a % lead, and then they can't. They're forced to do it. So that's really comes down to making them play your game, and just being really defensive and being an arrogant wall that just won't budge is quite a powerful thing.
I feel like when people play, though, they feel like a super defensive playstyle is the most frustrating to run up against. But when you look at the top players, we only really have, I'd say, Dabuz as like a super defensive player, while all the others are sort of risk takers. And especially in Ultimate, a lot of the risk takers are making their way as more of a prominent player. I mean, Mars is demonstrating, even with his old main, which isn't considered that good, to be quite a fantastic player in Ultimate. So do you reckon it's changed in Smash 4, or is it the same?
Aggression feels a lot stronger in this game.
Yeah. Hey, you're not supposed to argue that.
But no, the counterpoint. If the aggression is a lot stronger because you've got more ways to kind of move and get in, then defense can also get stronger by the same token of, well, I've got more ways to run away from you and outmaneuver you.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, it's tricky because you're right. There is not many. I think Snake's another defensive character.
Yeah.
Snake's not someone that you see go quite defensive. Oh, but he's the best character in the game, a lot of people say.
Yeah, it's true.
So if all those tier lists are correct, then maybe defensive play is the best.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, though, because Snake's results really rely on like Ally and MVD if we're looking at like the top player of the meta. But again, it is also the players who do that. And I think Snake also has some really good aggressive options. His dash attack and even his oppression on the ledge with his up smash and his traps are really good. He's not necessarily 100% defensive, and a lot of his defensive options are actually more risky.
He's very defensive. He wants you to come into his space,
Yeah.
or he just. I'm so glad, by the way, that he doesn't have his Brawl down smash, which was a proximity mine.
Oh.
Because having a proximity mine, a remote mine, 2 up smashes in the air, 2 grenades, or whatever, any combination of them on the field, that's just death. No, he's defensive as... Things like dash attack I don't see as offensive. He can just be defensive to the moment where it gives him a burst movement option to punish your aggression. Yeah. So if anything, that's his dash attack is actually helping him be more defensive.
Okay. Do you think that if you played with a slightly more risk tolerant playstyle, that you would be able to close out stocks better, or do you think it would just be a detriment overall?
I try it repeatedly and it doesn't, and I get punished for it. Like Ben will say this to me and I'll be like, yeah, I've really got to get a bit more aggressive, and then I'll try it in a set and I'll like lose games to people that I shouldn't be like, okay, I need to just go back to what works. I think maybe I don't think he's wrong. I think I do need to be a bit more aggressive, but I think for one, I should be playing a different character if I want to play a bit more aggressive overall. I do need to learn when to be more aggressive with Megaman, but like you should have seen the game I had with Ari on the weekend. You didn't see that?
No, I didn't.
So I played against Ari. The week before, I played him in Sunny Coast against his Ike, and he just knows that I can shoot him with lemons all day, but I'm not killing him, and he knows to stay away from the Metal Blade. Back air confirm. And he lived to over 250%. I thought, that's pretty disgusting. Well, he went and topped himself this weekend. He lived to over 300. So,
yikes.
Yeah, and that was me playing aggressive, but he was killing me at 80%. Yeah. So it's like I said with the game I was playing against Boozer. Oh, look, he's on 200%, I'm on 50. Now would be a good time to approach and get that back air. And I lost the set over it. So I start with Ari, I'd be like, oh, 100%, I could kill him now off it. Nope, 200, no, 250, no, 300, still wasn't time. Eventually, he just got out by some stray thing. So being defensive, even though I had to do over I think it was over 700% of damage to him in one game.
That ain't right.
It's stressful, and he kills me off like a
nair into up air.
Yeah, something like that. And I'm like, oh, I hate you. But no, I feel like I did the right thing. Well, I won, so
good on you. No, I agree. Like honestly, I am just poking holes where I can, but I think that like there is an optimal playstyle for particular people. And for you, I think there is like a defensive playstyle. And if you can maintain it, that's the trickiest thing that I think people don't really get, is that a lot of it is that it is a perfect playstyle that you have to pull off.
Yeah.
And if you make mistakes, then it doesn't matter like who you're playing, people are going to exploit that.
Defensive playstyle is a bit like playing whack-a-mole. You need to be constantly aware of where the holes are in your defense and shutting them down as people are trying to exploit them. So it's not like you're standing there as a wall. You're actively trying to plug a wall that's got thousands of leaks in it.
Yeah, and that's that. A lot of people don't really get that, and they get frustrated against a defensive playstyle. Yeah. They don't understand that they're getting constantly outplayed.
Yeah. I do feel like it's quite easy. I don't think it's easy, but I feel like aggression is probably the superior thing in Ultimate. Mm-hmm. But having said that, I don't think that defensive playstyle is weak at all. It's probably just better at the higher levels, but that's maybe just because you see more of it. Because maybe it's different in Japan where they play more defensively.
You were supposed to argue the other point, by the way.
Well, I've argued it.
It's all right. Tricky. Yeah, no, Japan definitely is more defensive and a lot more creative, I think. So
yes,
yeah. If you're done with this podcast, maybe go check out some Japanese VODs. Ooh. Until then, we're going to move on to the second topic, which we've already talked about. And honestly, I don't even know how I'm going to do this, but I was supposed to say that Ausmash and the ELO system is not 100% good for the scene.
Oh, well, yeah, I've been over that. It's not.
Yeah, so you agree with that?
People just care too much about ELO, and then they sad boy and go, oh, I'm not going to tournaments anymore, and then they post on Twitter how it doesn't mean anything, and then the person that sets themselves goals are like, oh no, my internet points don't mean anything now. This other person on the internet isn't going to validate me. It stops people from going to tournaments. It makes people ELO camp. It makes people feel really bad when they do poorly.
Since we're revisiting the subject, I think maybe we can talk about, because I don't want to get you to argue a point that you already sort of like agree. But do you reckon that's why PR is good? Because then it sort of like takes away elo camping. It takes away a lot of
They're
stuff.
different things. So elo is meant to be kind of like an ongoing, like up to the moment thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I look at PR, even though it's you can question its accuracy based on the opinions of the people on it. It's more like a snapshot.
Yeah.
So it's more like taking a photograph of the scene and going, for this 3-month period, this is what these people thought of this. Because you can't go and check the ELO from 6 months ago or from...
Yeah.
You can't get that snapshot. So I think having them both is actually really valuable. I think having multiple ways to, I guess, rank people is ideal. So that way, if you don't feel like if you're like, oh, I'm Nagima and I didn't get put on the PR how I should have been, well, you can look at the ELO chart and be like, oh, look, my ELO's higher than all the people who were on that panel. So there should be multiple mechanisms for that, and I think that's good. There's also like multiple PRs, even in the sense that there's going to be a Queensland PR, but there might also be a Gold Coast one. You might have some people from the Gold Coast one who appear on it, and then there's probably also going to be a national PR. So it's a multi-tiered thing, even just within the PR itself.
I wanted to get that point across with this because I know a lot of people will have that, and I just wanted you to address them, but we've already been through it. But the final point, this one's going to be really tough for you to argue. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Megaman was not a good addition to the Smash roster.
Oh my god.
You're going to have to argue that.
Oh, okay.
Don't you think he's an icon of gaming?
I mean, what's he done that's relevant in the last 20 years beyond, Mega Man 11? I don't think he'd...
Even that was before he got it.
That was before he got into Smash 4. So, I mean, what's he really introduced? He's introduced the optimal play style of running away and throwing things. Like, who really wanted a character that had a jab? Can you name me one person that enjoys the move Leaf Shield? I don't think anyone actually...
I think I could think of one player, but I don't know if he'd agree at this point in time.
He's probably a bit biased against it. Yeah. I mean, this is really horrible.
Don't you think that, the Metal Man is sort of like a boring design concept, and they could have thought of some cooler stuff to put in?
Oh, okay. So I mean, why would they put in a character that didn't even have... So do you know, there's 3 main characters in Mega Man. One of them's Megaman, one of them's Dr. Light, who's like, the good scientist, and then there's the bad scientist, Dr.
Megaman.
Wily. So Mega Man's design was based on Astro Boy. The only reason he is the blue bomber is because when they did it on the NES, they had a very limited color palette, and blue had the most number of shades. So he's not even the blue bomber for any good reason. He's just an Astro Boy that they picked the most colors that the NES had at any time and went, oh yeah, let's do that. Have you seen the box art for Mega Man 1? It's absolutely terrible. Well, the US one anyway.
Jesus.
And if that, it doesn't even end there. Like, the lack of innovation from the design team extends to both Dr. Light, who's the good guy. He's based on Santa Claus. He actually just looks like Santa Claus. And then Dr.
Let's collect all the energy crystals, Mega Man.
Dr. Wily was based on Einstein. So
really?
So the bad guy's based on Einstein. Now you'd think, well, why are they basing it on Einstein? Like, Einstein's meant to be a good guy. He was always the one that was saying we shouldn't be using these nuclear weapons that I'm creating. But it was created by a guy in Japan, and they probably have a bit of a
different opinion of Einstein and what happened to Japan.
So basically, the whole series is pretty uninspired from a design direction. They didn't even change the graphics that much for the first few of them.
Jesus, some deep Mega Man lore.
And to be honest, if you look at some of the spin-off games, like the Battle Network stuff, do you even know about those games?
Yeah, the RPG. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Does
no,
anyone enjoy them?
No.
Yeah, of course. No one played them. Who even knows that? Why are they in his final Smash?
And they didn't even implement him properly. He should be stealing the other characters' abilities, like you said.
Oh, yeah.
Who even uses Metal Blade?
Like, why did Kirby get the ability to copy someone's ability? Why couldn't Mega Man have it? This is cutting me deep inside.
All right, we'll leave that one for now.
Yeah, that's enough.
Poor Mega Man, he's been brutalized. No, obviously he was a fantastic addition to the roster, and should have probably been in Brawl. Like,
should have been in 64.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, was he like a Nintendo icon though? It was Capcom.
He was a Nintendo icon in the NES days.
Right.
So by the time Smash came out on 64, he had a whole string of NES games. He had Mega Man X games that had come out on Super Nintendo. So you get in there, oh no, but let's put the Earthbound kid in there that no one knows. No, yeah, that'd make so much more sense than Mega Man. Okay, like...
Earthbound games were fantastic though.
Yeah, all 2 of them.
Yeah.
But that's okay, we got there in the end.
Yeah, now you're happy. You're at peace with your lemons. All right. I think what we're going to do is we'll do the speed round.
Okay, yep.
And we'll take a break.
Yep.
Because obviously it's going to be extremely intense. I'm going to have the questions, so you're going to have to look away.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. And you're going to have to read them pretty quick. I mean, you're going to have to answer them pretty quick. You're going to just answer. Just answer, all right? Don't think too hard.
Yep.
All right? Because you're going to get tripped up. There's 29 of them.
Oh, shit. Okay.
All right.
I mean, yes.
Just give me the thumbs up when we're ready to go, Jet, and I'll start reading them. Spazzy, don't complain about Sonic.
Sonic's low tier anyway.
The Sonic drowning music is some of the best anxiety-inducing music that I could think of. I was telling Jet that we want to play it as loud as possible on your headphones, but
No.
I think we'll just do it. All right, we're on. Lemons or Metal Blades?
Lemons.
Best character in the game?
Mega Man.
Miyamoto or Sakurai?
Sakurai.
Is Mega Man top tier?
Top tier, yes.
4-1-1 or Bust a Move?
Bust move.
Best move in the game?
Leaf shield.
Brawl or Smash 4?
Smash 4.
Brawl Meta Knight or Smash 4 Bayonetta?
Oh, Brawl Meta Knight.
Best ingredient in a pie?
Mince.
Lemon. Best 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck?
100 duck-sized horses.
All right, going for the difficult one. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
What's your favorite fruit?
Watermelon.
Is Shitashi a weeb?
No.
Home and away or neighbors?
Probably home and away.
Should mid-set coaching be allowed?
No.
Anime or wrestling?
Wrestling.
Are you Dr. Evil or Mini-Me?
Mini-Me.
Coolest character on the roster?
Mega Man.
Red Rooster or HJs?
Red Rooster.
Oh, we've run out of time. That's 19 points, though, and we deliberately did too many. I think, what did Ben get? Did Ben get 17? Yeah, so you've beaten Ben. He finished right on the buzzer. Those were tough ones. Oh, we could probably do the bonus ones.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Does you reckon that's a good idea, Jed? Or yeah, he doesn't care.
All right.
All right. Ready?
Gonna think for these.
All right, so we're just gonna get them out there because some of these are funny, and I want to see what your opinion is.
Oh yeah.
Is Mega Man a perfect game?
No.
More annoying to verse, Smash 4 Cloud or Bowser?
Smash 4 Cloud.
All right. What's 9 plus 10?
19.
21. Would you rather lick Mario's toes or be vored by Peach? That's a tough one. Everyone in chat, give us the answer to that one.
Probably lick Mario's toes.
Yeah, at least you'll get toes. Just get it over and done with.
Disturbing.
I think I'd be a Mario toe licker as well. Mario Kart or Crash Team Racing? Obviously.
I'm sorry, but it's Mario Kart.
You haven't even played. Don't give me that. Weenies or Chads?
Chads.
Best Mega Man game?
Mega Man X.
Best Mega Man soundtrack?
Mega Man 2.
Who's your favorite podcast host?
It's probably that Cap guy.
Banjo or Dragon Quest?
Let's go with Banjo.
All right. Are you gonna put any time into him or?
Only so I can figure out how to beat him.
Yeah. Okay.
That's about it.
Fair call. I think with the bonus.
And to get him into Elite Smash because I have to get all the characters in there.
Do you have all the characters in Elite Smash now? Oh my god.
Yeah. So when
Jesus
the new one
Christ.
comes out, you got to play your obligatory one game, get it in, and then just not go online with them ever again.
All right. Well, that's all the questions. So you can now look if you want.
All right.
In chat, can we please get what would you do? Lick Mario's toes or be vored by Peach? Because I think that's the best question I thought of. I think that was cutting edge. Toes.
A lot of those questions had 2 horrible answers. That was terrible.
That's the point. You're supposed to get stuck on them. You're supposed to be like, and then the timer ticks down. But then I feel bad because I'm being funny during the timer. Yeah. Nah, but you did well. That was a good amount of questions. You did it.
Yep.
Can't believe you didn't say lemon pie.
No, I didn't even think of lemon pie.
Well,
that would taste... I'm not the one that eats lemons. It's everyone else.
That's so true, yeah. Mega Man's eating a meat pie while everyone else is sucking on lemons. All right, fair call. I think we'll take a little break there. So everyone who's watching on YouTube will be right back. But everyone on Twitch, just go get your marshmallows, go get a cup of tea, maybe eat your dinner, something like that. And we're back. How are we all doing? Hopefully you've gotten your yum-yums and you're chilling out and you're back with us all relaxed, because we're going to start being a bit more casual. We're going to go to the Twitter questions. And then we're probably going to move on to something else later. But yeah, I want to hear what people have to say about the questions in the chat, and I want to get you guys involved a little bit more. So we're going to the thread now. Jeez, there's a lot of a lot of posts here. And of course, we're going to go for the ones that are the highest upvoted, because we want, a little bit of a reward if you think of a good question or something that's funny. So what have we got that's the highest rated at the moment? Oh, looks like Ben Gold. 8 likes.
I think it was How Do I Beat You? Last time I checked.
How do I beat you from Churopon? That's 11 likes. Skyrocketing. People are interested in this question. All right. Do you have an answer?
Okay, so there's 2 levels to this. One, how do you beat me in general? There's a few ways. Believe it or not, Megaman can't handle getting camped. Mm-hmm. So camping Megaman, forcing me to approach, is something that's very terrible for me. You have to be very patient. You have to learn my patterns. It's little things like knowing that after I shoot 3 lemons, there's lag. So I know some people count my lemons and then jump in after the 3rd one. Learning how to zone break is also very important. So I think a lot of it just comes down to matchup knowledge. You need to know that when I'm using Leaf Shield on your shield, you hold shield. And I can punish people that just press a lot of buttons by using Leaf Shield, so you got to be careful with that. I think specifically with you, Chirapon, I remember the last time I played you, you were a very passive Joker. You kind of sat back a lot. I've played Konzo's Joker, and it scared the hell out of me. He really should have taken 2 sets from me by now. And his Joker was just really in my face quite a lot. So I think that that playstyle of Joker works quite well against probably other people, but not against me.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I was doing is I was deciding when you would get Arsene. So Arsene's probably your strongest part of your kit, but I was making the decision that when I was about 60%, now's a good time to get Arsene, because I can probably stall it out. I'd rather you get it when I'm at 60 than when I'm at, say, 100. And it's really easy to bait out, because all I have to do is get a sticky bomb on you or charge forward smash or both, and then all Jokers are going to take that bait. They're going to absorb it. They're going to get Arsene. I'm going to stall out Arsene, and then I'm basically on 70%, and I know I'm not going to see Arsene before you close the stock out. So I'd probably say don't take that bait, and just make sure that you can control when you get Arsene, not me. And also just figure out how to get in my zone a bit better and just be a bit more aggressive.
I am thoroughly impressed by how detailed that advice was. I feel like now if he loses, it's just like, well, you didn't take the advice.
Oh, I mean it when I say give people
help. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. Just ask him. It seems like he's going to give you the full lowdown. No, that was really good. We've also got 2 8-heart questions or liked questions here. We got Ben Gold and Lumi. You can pick which one you want.
Heck, Ben Gold. Okay.
Heck, Ben Gold. All right, Lumi's question then. How do you balance full-time work and tournaments without getting burnt out? That is tough. I want to know the answer to this.
Bit of an illusion. I do get burnt out. I run a full-time job. Full-time job sometimes means that I have to do work at home from it. It's just how it is. And then I compete in tournaments as well. And then I go... then I run the site, and then I'm just an adult that lives out of home, and adulting is hard. So I think it's just knowing your boundaries, and you really need to listen to your body and your mental health. I've been seeing a few players recently putting a lot of their value in how they place at tournaments, and that's very dangerous.
Yeah.
You just need to... I don't go to tournaments. I've stopped going to like Friday night tournaments when there's a Saturday tournament the next day, because I've noticed that by the time it gets to Sunday, I'm just so wrecked. I don't want to do anything on the Sunday, and then I'm on the back foot for the rest of the week. So it's knowing those limits, just by making sure that, okay, look, I'm getting burnt out. I'm getting tired. I don't care that I got 5 contact form submissions in the last hour and people are pinging me on Discord. I'm just going to black out. and just chill out or just do my own thing. Just having interests outside of Smash helps. Like exercise is a really important one. I know it sounds cliche, but eating properly and getting the right amount of sleep.
Yep.
And just having good people that you can hang around that just keep you feeling good about yourself. So it's really just the basic things in life that you just need to learn how to do. It's not that difficult to know how to do it, but just learning how to do it consistently, it just helps you be in a good mindset and avoid burnout. And just when you see the signs, just stop.
One of the things I'll add to that is that I had a similar thing where I kept getting burnt out. One of the best ways that I dealt with that was like taking care of my environment. So like if you're like working and then you go into a Smash tournament, you just want to get home and just like chill out. Yeah. But you still got to do the things like clean up. Yeah. Do your dishes or whatever. That really helps because when you've got like a clean environment, it does affect your mentality and helps you sort of like remain calm.
Don't procrastinate. Do the dishes before you go to bed, so you don't have to wake up the next day and do them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have any problems with that, Lemmy, but for people who might be like, focusing really hard and trying to go really hard, just make sure you've got all of your other bits of your life in balance.
I feel like Lumi's pretty good with that. Maybe I just give an illusion that I'm doing all these things, but really there's 24 hours in the day for everyone. So, yeah.
You've got the show that
multitasking is quite a good. Like I remember I'd be looking for Wi-Fi and like writing code when I'm in the waiting room. Like it's just multitasking's a good thing. Yeah. That's how you get a lot done.
All right, that was really helpful as well. Yeah, I think a lot of people will appreciate that. What got you into the Smash scene, and who/what do you miss most from the Brawl days?
Oh, okay. So what got me into the Smash scene? Well, I feel like in a way I've always been in a Smash scene. It started out when I was playing Smash 64 with the kids on my street. It was the classic, I would beat them all. And because there'd be 5 of us that would play, there was always one person who had to sit out. So that brought a competitive element of it because it was last always got out. Melee kind of evolved into, I bought a GameCube for a guy who I worked with at a restaurant, and everyone used to go to his place for drinks afterwards. Oh, yep. So we ended up getting, honestly, about 7 or 8 people there into Melee, and it was a similar thing. So that was kind of a bit of a scene. So by the time that kind of started to dissipate, but then by the time Brawl came out, I'm like, well, I've had these kind of clicks for Smash, and this new Smash game has online. So not only will I not have to have these clicks, but I can still have them as well as meet people online. So that kind of was interesting. But I knew that I'd read about tournaments. I just never could convince anyone that I played Melee with to go 2-1, but then I just decided to Lone Ranger it and do my own thing just to see what was out there. And just playing online really kind of solidified it because I was meeting people like Jesmo and Arrow and Leash and Boozer and that online, and it was just cool to see them in real life. So, it was just always kind of being in a scene and then meeting people that were also part of it. So that, it's just always Smash as a social game to me. Yeah. As competitive as you make it, it's the people that keep me coming back. So 100%. It's people that drew me in. It's people that are keeping me there.
Who did you play in 64 in Melee?
In 64, I played Pikachu. I figured out that if you jumped backwards while doing thunder, then it did a wall of thunder in front of you, and I thought I was the smartest person in the world.
No one can touch me.
Well, no one could. They just kept running into it. And then in Mewtwo, I was Melee always ended up on Temple, and there'd always be 3 people trying to gang up on me because I'd be winning for ages. Yep. And I thought the fact that Mewtwo's air dodge looked the same as his up B
would trick people.
They could never know where I was going, and I'd spent the whole time just running away, charging Shadow Ball, because it'd be 3 people chasing me, so I'd just circle camp them on Temple. So
the one in the fires of being focused.
I didn't like playing like that, but when you're getting ganged up upon, you do what you have to win. So, yeah, that'd be it. What do I miss most from the Brawl days? I had quite a lot of fun in the Brawl. I guess I don't know how this is going to sound, but not being a leader of anything. Like, in the Brawl days, there was a guy named Vice. His name was Anthony, but he went by the tag of Vice. I'm sure no one knows of him anymore.
Probably.
But basically, he was the guy in the Queensland scene that people legitimately said there wouldn't be a scene in Queensland if it weren't for this guy. He organised all the tournaments. Yep. He was a mod on Smashboards. And it was kind of just very I guess, responsibility free to just go to these tournaments. This guy's organising it. I don't need to. I wasn't a top player either, so I feel like there was no expectation that I'd have anything. So I guess kind of just in the early days, it was just, I don't want to say casual, but it was just a bit less I felt a lot less responsibility. Because I got responsibility from the website, which I'm okay with. Brought this upon myself, but it's just nice not to have that. And just being a top player is a responsibility in and of itself.
Yeah, I definitely get that. The Scrail as well has said that he played Vice once at Play Warehouse.
Oh, yep. Yeah, Scrail came along right in the end of Brawl, so he would have seen that, yeah.
Righto.
I think Vice is still, I think he's still around, but I know he went into like competitive Pokemon cards. I know he's travelled overseas playing Pokemon TCG, so he's still competitive just in something else. And I think he might still even play Melee casually, so he's a good guy.
That's, it seems like when I first started out, that was one of the things I sort of fantasized about the climb. Like you have all your goals and you can sort of go in, but then when you get to that point where you're sort of like, well, what's my place in the scene anymore? I don't really want to be like the best there was, but I have to like represent for people and play the part that you need to play, which, you know, it's a fun thing. It's not like I'm like, oh, this sucks, but there's definitely more of a different a change of focus.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So no, it's I do miss that. Now you've pointed it out. All right, let's go on to the next one. We've skipped the 9 liked questions. So this guy Snake needs his question answered. I think Harry is his name in real life, but maybe that'll get him DDoS.
I like this guy. Right.
Yeah.
What made you want to What made you want to start Ausmash, and did you think it was ever going to become this fleshed out? So Ausmash has probably been developed for, I'd say, 8 years now. So even before it was Curdy Smash, it was me trying to teach myself how to code. Funny story, the only reason I actually went to uni to study IT was because I was running tournaments on a forum, and I would have stats on the forum threads, and I'd update like win rates and that on the threads, and I got sick of, as the tournament grew, having to update all this data. So I'm like, surely there's a way web pages can do this automatically. So I went to uni to figure that out, and now suddenly I'm a developer with 7 years experience. So I kind of started it as a way to teach myself how to program web pages. Then I went on that through uni, and I played around with a lot of different ways to, like, I created an app that could play videos just as a way to learn app development. I tried a few different ranking systems. Like the initial ELO kind of style system was I'd store results, and it'd be like top 1 would get 8 points, second would get 4 points, third would get so many points, and then I did my own little ranking system with that. Like it really was not accurate or based on any merit, but it's a good exercise to teach you how to code. That ended up actually getting me my job. I took like basically the beta of Curdy Smash in because I had nothing else because I was in uni. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess this thing's all right. So then when Smash 4 was about to come out, I just thought, look, the main problem is that in my life is that you can't see your tournament results. So in Brawl, you'd be like, tournaments are done. Someone might, and I say might because it didn't always happen, they might post the results in a Smashboards thread. And
they might have recorded it, even less.
No, there's no
recordings.
No recordings. No recordings. And when you think of results, it's like they might only show the top 8. You'd be lucky if they even put what characters it was. And there's definitely not a match by match breakdown. So when it came to PR season, like people would be doing the PR based on results, but like one guy might have had a lucky bracket and the other one might have just had lost to first and second and got 5th. But you'd never know because they've still got the same results, and there was just no way to tell that. So the initial reason, and to be honest, the main reason why the site exists is because I got sick of not having anywhere where you could find tournament results. So the single reason that site exists is so that you can store tournament results. As long as it's doing that, it's successful, and if it ever stops doing that, I'll take it down. But that's a niche that seems to have grown. I initially did it for Queensland, hence the name Curdy Smash, but I thought, wouldn't it be cool if if other states did this, because I can't find this for Victoria, I can't find it for New South Wales, so I just put in the database. Oh, I'll keep a table for regions, so that way I can, if hypothetically we got like a New South Wales tournament, I could store it but put it in New South Wales. I thought I'd do that initially so that if Queensland went to a different state, that we could keep the results.
Yeah.
So I did that initially thinking, we'll just keep track of Queenslanders if they go into state, but
started to evolve.
Yeah, thankfully the communities really are amazing. Like I'm not doing the majority of the work on the site now. It's all the content moderators, and without them, it just wouldn't exist. And yeah, I think it just culminated in a poll that I did after the site went live, where I put all these new features on the site, and someone did a poll. I think it was Weeb possibly, about what's your favorite new Ausmash feature, and I was pretty interested in that. And it was like, is it the True Skill? Is it the updated Discord thing? But the one that was hands down the most popular is just the fact that we changed the name to Ausmash, and that really surprised me.
Yeah. No.
But as soon as I changed it, a whole bunch of people jumped on board. Like there was some Melee people in Sydney that wanted to upload results, and other people felt a lot more compelled. There was more people in Adelaide that wanted to help out with it. I think just that simple branding. Like I'm a programmer, I don't think of branding.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really just like a thing that started out as I want to learn HTML, and I really hope this can be a story for other people who are learning programming, because quite often you don't have this big job that you can just walk into. You need to be doing these passion projects that you're only working on because you're interested in, but they show that you've got drive and motivation to do something, and they can actually turn into not only a career, but like I feel like it's the biggest site of its kind in Australia. Like I don't think many people can say that. So it is a complete surprise, and I'm pretty happy with it.
I was going to say, when you were developing the early point system, I was like, that's probably pretty inspiring for a lot of people, because, if they are doing some early programming, they might not like want to put the effort into something, but it was something that's evolved incredibly since when it started off, and you weren't exactly happy with the system when it started out.
Yep.
But it was still something that, helped them land a job.
ELO is probably the third iteration of a ranking system that I came up with. So, well, I didn't come up with the ELO one. I kind of stopped trying to come up with that. But I'm like, hey, they do it like this in chess. Maybe I'll
try that one out.
Yeah, and it worked out.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I didn't know that was it being in that long. And for the branding thing, I've done business, and I was like, it's really unfortunate that the name killed. These Smash must have just stuck. I can't believe it. He must be really tied to that. But no, Ausmash is a fantastic upgrade, I think.
The domain should explain what the website does, and it finally does.
I was also thinking that it made me think about how all the new players are coming up. And I was just like, well, obviously, when you're talking about Brawl, like, you don't even know who's winning. You don't know what character they're playing. You have no reflection back on there. And now it's like, even when I was coming up, you would have the whole stream.
Yep.
And I was just like, you have to be able to be like, all right, I'm going to go through and find my set, or go through to find the set that I want. Now it's all broken up. And you even have people doing set reviews and stuff. So
I like to think that it's chronicling Smash history. Because I can't go back and show people what the results were for the first tournaments in Brawl, but we can do that in Smash 4. Like we can go, and I just think I can't see Smash slowing down. Like this, I feel like this franchise is just going to go on, and I just think it's good. Like, I'd love to have joined a scene and been like, they say this Jesmo guy is the best, but what's he actually won? I'm like, he's won the last 10 tournaments in a row. Okay, I get it. Like that, it helps give gravity to a lot of the claims that get thrown around tournaments, that unless you've been there, you don't see why they're like that. Like
players like Sicknick, Churopon, like they're all fantastic players, but they honestly will never really have to play against Jace at his full power. And I'll never know why he was so dominant. And like, he might come back and he might not have the drive and lose to one of them, but it was just like, you don't know what it was like.
Yep.
You have no idea, but here's the evidence. And here's like what happened.
Here's the results.
Here's his like unbeatable streak, his record against players like Sadhour being like 31-1 still today. Like ridiculous stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's really important. And I think one of the saddest parts about moving to Twitter and Discord, like I said, is that a lot of that is lost, like the chronicling. That's the chronicling of the social stuff. Because even now you can look back on like Smash boards with like the early meta and just see how people behaved, and it's like this is funny. And
the other thing I think that it was sad that is lost with people not using the forum is I thought it was cool if you'd fight people online in the forum, you'd be like, that guy bopped me, but then you could go to his profile and be like, oh, he's won every tournament in Sydney. Okay, so it kind of puts into context that I'm not playing just some Wi-Fi warrior. Or maybe you are, and they're just really good, but you couldn't get that on Smashboards. But we're not. I don't use forums anymore.
Is the gold and silver and bronze system taken off for the online tournaments? Because I know there's a lot of like landlocked people who just have to play tournaments online.
What's that system? Sorry,
I thought that was the ELO system for online players, where they would do online tournaments and they would get gold, silver, and bronze. Or is that just
so
like ranking?
I put a ladder on there.
Yeah, that's what it is. The ladder.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit sad with how the ladders turned out. Right. I was actually skeptical of it the entire time because I've been following Anther's ladder.
Yeah.
And Anther's ladder seemed to not recently, like towards the end of Smash 4, it seemed to be having trouble with activity again because people were just looking for matches in Discord.
Yeah.
So what I was essentially doing was a subset of Anther's ladder where it's like if Anther's ladder is for all of America, then I'm doing it for an even smaller region. So what are my chances of success? I've considered trying to monetize the prizes for it. Like I'd actually considered putting like sponsorship deals up for people that would win the ladder in seasons. But the way that the people requested features for things like you can not accept a match or you can challenge players directly, I think it could just lead to people gaming it a little bit too easily. And I just don't feel comfortable putting up, say, $5,000 so that for a top player to just go and farm his friends and just get me to pay to a tournament that they've got a sponsor for anyway. Like it's just, I haven't resolved that. So it's something I've kind of just held back on. And then the pilot went pretty well, but then in the first season, in the last month, there wasn't a single match played. So it's not dead though. Like the idea, the functionality is still there. So I've been thinking just to myself like recently how to run it and promote it a bit more. But I don't really have an answer on that at the moment. But if somebody does decide to run a ladder, I think what it needs is promotion. Yeah. Like it needs someone, because I don't think
stakes.
Well, not only stakes, but just someone to be driving it. Like, like posting on Twitter, here's this, this is happening. Maybe it's something that ties into like an esports league website or something. There just needs to be a thing that's driving it. And I don't have that, and I don't feel like I have it within me to be the catalyst for it. So the functionality is all there, and if someone is interested in driving that, please approach me. But for now, I'm just letting it lay dormant while I just ponder other things.
Sort of sit on it for a bit and just be like, well, where do I can move this? Yeah, no, it's like 100% understand. I don't think anyone would want you to be the catalyst after I've already creating it anyways, because it is like a monumental task.
I've just got so much stuff to handle anyway.
It's just like you don't have enough time. That's fair enough. All right, I think we can move on to the next question. I don't want to dive too much into the same one.
It's all good.
We've got, I think, Battle Dolphin, and then we might cut off after there because I'm upset that Battle Dolphin made the list in the first place. What character are you most hopeful for DLC? We talked about like who you think is most realistic, but
if I can be unrealistic, AF, then it's definitely the Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Especially considering he's got Silksong coming out soon. I just want to see an Aussie developed character in the game. I reckon that'd be awesome.
That would be sick.
Go Team Cherry.
However, I have played Hollow Knight. And I thought. Criticize me as much as you want, everybody, but I thought it was just another Metroidvania. And if you've played the classics, it doesn't do a whole lot to add much new.
How far did you get into it?
Oh, not very far.
I feel like I played the game at the start and I felt like, okay, it started out like a basic Metroidvania. Cool, I'm unlocking some abilities. I don't even know what I'm doing in the game.
Yeah.
Music seems pretty cool. Yeah, I'm enjoying that. But then it just kind of got to a point where I'd start getting lost, and I know that's part of the whole Metroidvania thing, but I think the whole lore and everything around the world is just, I think I just got kind of wrapped up in it.
Okay.
And it's, from what I've heard from the developers, it's because there's a lot of unresolved stuff in it. Like, they're like, there is no lore in this game, there's what's in the game, but a lot of stuff about how it came to be and all the past for it. It's really up for interpretation, and there's a lot of different things that can be true. We're not telling you. So I think I got caught up in, and the movement in it's just clean.
Yeah.
Like
the
movement was solid. The boss fights were really interesting, and then as I was just wandering around that big world, I just got really wrapped up in what does it all even mean? And then before you know it, I'm watching Hollow Knight videos on YouTube and thinking, oh, yeah, this is what the moveset would be, and that's how I landed here.
Okay.
It's a good game.
That's fair enough. I might put some more time in there. If it's got the golden star, and if you had the similar experience, then maybe I didn't give it enough time.
It takes time.
All right. And then Mario Bro also got 7 likes on his question, so it'd be rude to cut him off when we gave Battle Dolphin the chance. But would you rather would you rather time someone out with 100 lemon-sized Mega Mans or 1 Mega Man-sized lemon?
It's similar to the question before. It's definitely 100 lemon-sized Mega Mans, because if you're going to time someone out, that's death by 100 cuts. So you don't want one thing timing you out. You want to be like, look at all these little things.
I feel like that would be awful too. Can you imagine 100 tiny Mega Mans on the screen? Like each of lemons just putting you in the tiniest amount of hits done.
It's like Mega Man meets Pikmin.
Yeah, that'd be awful. Each Pikmin's a Mega Man. No way. Yeah, no, definitely the first one. All right. I think after this one, I do like taking in the questions, so I think we might move on to Twitch stream questions.
Yep.
Because you guys have some really good questions. Now, we could take priority on subscribers, but this is a free world, so you just have to be any random schmuck, and if you got a good question, we'll answer it. So if you're in the chat right now, just warm them up, think about them for a bit. Otherwise, how's your day been?
Yeah, busy. I moved desk at work. That's never fun.
Oh, yuck.
Someone's already claimed my old desk. Scum.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah, it's like I hadn't even finished moving all my stuff over.
And he was already sitting down on it.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I had a Mega Man picture that I left there, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that. Went back there, someone's on my desk. I'm like, oh, but that's okay.
You had a Mega Man picture?
So one of the programmers at work got drunk one night, and he's like, oh, look what I painted you. And he just painted the Mega Man pose from Smash 4, and it's actually really good. And I'm like, I didn't even know you could paint, so I've kept it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's. I'm pretty happy with that.
Okay. No. All right, so we've got a couple of questions rolling through. Sick Nick asked his first. Incineroar's best move. Do you even play Incineroar? What's the...
Yeah, so he knows that the best move is side B, because he beat me in Incineroar Dittos on Saturday using only side B. And he told me he was going to do it, and he did it. Now, normally, like, he says he's going to do something, and it's a bit of fluff, like, oh, I'm going to beat you the next time I play you, Shitashi, and then... I guess he did that too, but in this case, he literally beat me with Incineroar side B, so I'm going to give him... I'm going to say it's that move.
That's
and I tried to do it to him, and I couldn't.
Oh.
So
Does it, like, what happens when two Incineroars side B each other?
it just does it's like two people grab at the same time.
Oh, right.
But it'd just be like, I'd go run in and try and side B him, and he'd just walk back and then side B my side B, so...
Have you had that many double grab parries happen? Because I was like, oh, wow, that's a crazy... addition. I feel like people are going to use that tech, but
nah, it's rare. I've had it happen a few times, but it's just like, oh, that happened.
Yeah.
What triggers me though is it does like 1% of damage. I'm like,
really?
It does. I think so. It does a little bit of damage, and I just when I'm so averse to taking damage, I'm like, you should not get damage for that.
Yeah. 1% though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nah.
It's the principle.
All right, Churopon. Rockman or Megaman? It's the same thing.
So no, they're not. So Rockman is what they call him in Japan. Now, there's this rumor going around that I'm a weeb, but it's blasphemy. It's not accurate. So I think I'm gonna have to go with Megaman, because Megaman's the Western name for him.
And Megaman is just a cooler name than Rockman.
Yeah, well, Rockman was based on like rock music, because you got Rockman, you got bass, you got rock and roll.
Right.
Roll's a character in the game.
Okay.
And I don't really like guitars, so I don't support that.
You don't like guitars? You like rock music, but guitars?
No, I don't like rock music.
Okay.
I'm more of a like dance music needs a beat. If they got guitars and they're doing like live covers, I kind of just zone out.
Who do you listen to these days?
Oh, I've been listening to gaming soundtracks quite a lot.
Yeah. What's good?
The Hollow Knight soundtrack.
Of course it is.
The Mega Man one's pretty good. Other than that, just standard, like, I don't know, I like electro from like the early noughties. It's probably because I just know that music quite well. Really just mix of anything with a beat to it. I like.
Rat-a-tat?
Maybe I don't know who that is.
Oh, it's like two French guys. They're one of my favorites, like Cherry and... there's a whole bunch of songs. But I won't get too much into it. We'll go to the next question. How many lemons do you think you've ever let rip as a random estimation? I think it's got to be over,
right.
10,000.
Let's say... I'll just tell a story about Ari. We got locked out. We went to get a car. We went to get a loan car down in... when we went to go down to Wollongong, and... we had to get it out of this little box, and there was a combination with 4 things, and we were putting the number in that we were told, and it wasn't working, and it was raining, so we'd try maybe it's 1 up or 1 down, and it just wasn't working, and we're like, well, we can't get the key to our car, so Joz is pragmatic, he starts looking for a hotel, but Ari, no, this is what Ari does, he goes, okay, so there's 10,000 possible combinations, and then he goes through in 1 minute and does how many different ones that he can do in a minute. He's like, okay, so I can do 30 of them in a minute. And let me just calculate that. If I sit here for 3 hours straight and try every single combination, we'll eventually crack it. So,
Holy shit.
Thank God we didn't do that because the thing was broken. We never would have gotten in. But so taking Ari's theory, how many lemons have I probably... Let's go brute force. So I reckon I'm shooting maybe 200-300 lemons a match based on projectiles that I'm throwing.
Okay.
If my matches go for an average of 5 minutes, let's say, because there's time in between sets, let's say I do about 6, so that's maybe 2,500 lemons an hour. I've got Smash on my system for probably 500 hours. I don't even know if I'm multiplying this correctly at the moment.
Well, let's just get to the end result and see what...
5,000 lemons times... No, 2,500 lemons times 5,000. Let's say 10 million. Let's say 10 million.
10 million lemons.
That's a random number.
Jesus.
I mean, it racks up.
Yeah, but... that's fair enough. I feel like you get some similar numbers with people who play like Diddy Kong, like 10 million bananas pulled.
They're not pulling out lemons that quick.
No,
bananas that
but
quick,
it'd be like maybe 1 million.
Yeah,
no less, because fucking.
Yeah.
Anyway, now that is ridiculous. Would you rather have baby-sized hands or baby-sized feet? Ooh.
Well, probably baby-sized feet because I'd rather have big hands.
Yeah, but then you're walking and you're...
I don't know.
Stumbling around and that'd be awful.
Don't you have more shoes that fit you then?
Oh yeah, true.
You would get Japanese shoes. No, that's a weeb thing to say.
That is a weeb thing to say. You're revealing your weakness. And you'd get like little baby shoes. They'd be cheaper. Yeah, I could see that. And then you'd have normal sized hands. I was thinking of like baby sized hands, but then I wouldn't be able to play. I'd have to like reach across.
Yeah, there's probably a threshold because I don't want small hands because I've seen people have small hands and they can't reach all the buttons on the controller comfortably. Yeah. But if you've got 2 big hands, you'd get cramps. So I think I'd rather have bigger hands than small because if you
get big hands, aren't there like the claw grip and the vulture grip that you can do that sort of like make it better? Oh,
maybe. I thought the claw grip had like
worse
a benefit to it, but if it's just for big hands, then glad I don't have to do that.
I thought claw grip was just easier on the wrist, but actually I have no idea.
Yeah.
When you try different games, does it feel weird to go back to Smash?
Yeah, like I've had time. I remember one period where I played Pokken for a while, and then I came back to Smash, and I was using the A button to jump.
Yeah,
and that was like the lemon button, and that felt really weird. Thankfully, the only one that doesn't feel weird is Megaman because he controls pretty much the same. The jump and the shoot buttons are similar.
What about Hollow Knight?
See, Hollow Knight, I don't feel like I'm looking at Hollow Knight on the screen, so no.
Yeah. Fair calls.
Yeah. Oh, Natushi. Oh, that's a weeb. So
Natushi. Which Smash character would you port to another game?
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Which Smash character would I port to another game? So, I think...
Don't they already have other games?
Yeah, but I think I can answer this. I'd be really interested to see you play as Wii Fit Trainer in another game.
I see that, yeah. Wii Fit Trainer and Doom or something, that'd be really...
Just Wii Fit, because you don't play as Wii Fit Trainer. Like, she's just this mannequin, but I think she's also one of the best. I think the two best designed characters in Smash are Mega Man and Wii Fit Trainer because...
Really?
Yeah, because if you look at Mega Man, all of his moves are based upon actual like moves that he does.
Yeah.
Wii Fit Trainer is the other example where every single move Wii Fit Trainer does is a specific yoga pose.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, this forward tilt, I just thought I'd put a forward tilt on him like that. No, the forward tilt is this pose, down tilt is... So I think that's quite good.
I think that's all right. I think some characters like Bayonetta have a really good... like, I think she was well designed. I don't think she was well designed in a fighting game environment, but I think she was a very...
She's a combo character in a fighting game that doesn't have combos. That's never going to end well.
It doesn't mix well, but she was translated well from her original game.
Bayonetta's on my to-play pile, so I'm going to be getting to that. Yeah, I definitely want to play Bayonetta. I liked Devil May Cry. Actually, Dante is another character I wouldn't mind in Smash.
Dante is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you want the old Dante or the DMC Devil May Cry Dante?
I think the DMC one's probably more modern.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like him when it came out, but I've grown to it. So yeah, probably that one. The white hair just looks too emo now.
It does, but he's so cool. I mean, they could do old Dante. It's a little bit better than these old and these.
How about they do what they do with Bayonetta and you can pick old and new?
Yeah, there you go.
We can do it, Sakurai.
We're done. Yeah, we've solved Sakurai's problem.
Yep.
What is your favorite character to play against as Mega Man?
To play against
Well,
as
it's
Mega
just
Man.
going to be Mega Man's worst matchup, wouldn't it?
Ooh, Mega Man's best.
Oh, yeah, like it'd be Little Mac?
Well, no, Little Mac's very
Little Mac could be
stressful. Little
annoying.
Mac's very stressful.
That's true.
I actually like playing against Ivysaur.
Really?
Yeah, Ivysaur is a character that is very strong at the whip range, and I just don't. I just don't get in that range. Like the Lemon range is just outside of that, and Ivysaur's air speed is not that isn't that good, so they can't close the distance. And
you just delete the...
And that's the other thing. Yeah, they do Razor Leaf, and one Lemon deletes Razor Leaf. So that's
disgusting.
That's quite a good one. I feel like I've gotten very used to the Ike matchup. I feel like I know how to play against Ike really well. Ice Climbers is another one. I think I enjoy that because I'm sadistic and I don't feel like they can do anything against me. Like I'm scared of them as a character. Like they terrify me. But
they're getting good, aren't they?
They are.
Spammage?
It's just spammage. Yeah.
You're getting good. Sorry, I cheered against you at Rainbet, by the way, Spammage. But yeah.
Yeah, the character just... I feel like I can kind of stop them from doing quite a lot of things. And Day-to-Day also seems to be like...
Oh, Day-to-Day, he probably just like Lemon one of his...
the Lemon doesn't do it, but the Metal Blade stuffs it up. Again, he doesn't have good run speed and he doesn't have good air speed, so he's never going to close the gap. And if I am below a Day-to-Day, then it's just so much fun. He can't land.
He's just constantly throwing up the little...
Yeah, it's just up air. You're going to fall into that. So I think they're probably my favorite ones.
Just destroying Day-to-Day. And it doesn't matter that he never dies because you just keep him in that torment forever.
Oh, yeah, it takes a lot of work, but it's like, oh, look, I'll get there. And then hitting him in the face with his own Gordos is fun.
It's hilarious.
I always like that.
Sometimes it like hits twice because like...
Anyway,
yeah. Spammage asks, would you ever consider a non-zoner secondary? We've been talking about this.
I don't. I feel like to be honest, Roy's a character I'd like to play. I played a lot of Roy in Smash. I played a bit of Roy in tournament actually in Smash 4, yeah. But honestly, my Roy in Smash 4 was, his up B is stupid. I'm just going to spam up B. I remember I took one stock in a tournament game, literally only using up B. It was against
That's a good move.
It was against a lower player, but I'm just like, look, I'm just proving a point. And
Jesus.
Roy's actually really good in this game.
Why do you always do that to the lower players?
It's a bit like I do this to people with Leaf Shield. If you can't figure it out, I'm just going to do it over and over until you figure out a way against it. There's no move in the game you can spam over and over.
Yeah.
That you can't get past. So it may seem sadistic, but I'm training them. I'd definitely like to play a non-zoner, but the problem is I haven't learned yet how to switch that mentality. Like I don't, and people tell me this every time I play secondaries. I play them exactly like Mega Man. Like, you just sit back and shoot ice blocks as ice climbers, or you just camp with the piranha plant. Oh, look, you're playing Bayonetta and you're even camping. Oh. So, why are you doing that? So,
you want to be able to learn how to not do that.
I think I'd actually need to not play Mega Man for an extended period of time to get... do you
think you'd ever do that, though?
I mean, maybe. Like, because I played a lot of characters in Brawl, and... that was definitely one of the problems I feel like I had, was I didn't really go too deep with anyone. Like, I played Olimar, Samus, Meta Knight, and a lot of Ices, but there wasn't any one of them that was particularly deep. And then Jesmo said something to me when Smash 4 came out. He said, look,
Just
you never...
pick the one.
Yeah, he said, you have to commit. If you want to do well, you have to pick a character and commit to it, or else you're never going to go anywhere. And I'm like, Jesmo, you're right. And then they announced Megaman. I'm like, I know who I'm going to play. And I think I've just done it for so long that I don't know what it's like to play another character like in tournament anymore. And the thought of it is actually, I feel like I'm going back to square one. And like, maybe I need to go backwards before I go forward. But I still feel like I can push Mega Man forward. I'm just not at the point where I'm done with Mega Man, so that there's a need for it. But like, maybe if this game's been out for 5 years and I'm just like, look, I just want to hit someone in the face, maybe I'll start doing it.
Some Roy.
Yep.
Yeah, I've always thought that as well for people where they if they feel stuck on a character, they're just like can't move. It's like you got to play somebody else.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you're stuck on a character against somebody else's character, the answer is to play that character, because then
definitely I do that. If I'm like, this character's cheap, I keep losing to them, I'm going straight online and doing whatever they're doing to me. Oh, that's how you get around it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
That's a winning strat. All right, and then we've got the final question from Scrail. How did you and Villainous end up in a yelling match at Smashbox 5? Jeez.
I love Villainous. So I think I need to, because I don't think I've ever been in a serious yelling match. But I'm just...
I don't know. You do yell sometimes, but it's never serious.
Kyle, we reaffirmed a story to me on the weekend. He's like, you do know that you were the reason I started wearing headphones.
I do remember this story as well. It's so true. Smashbox 5. Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I just Villainous is hilarious. Like, she was just one of those people that I knew online for a lot. I met her when I went to Perth. I just think she's a lot of fun. And the thing is, we both... I feel like at the time we both played characters that were seen as really lame. I know she went through a thing that was really big in Melbourne where she played Villager, and when they put customs on, I think she won a tournament with the Villager with the trip sapling, and you know, that was very controversial, and I can remember people...
Jeez, customs. I remember the trip sapling plus the exploding balloons. The people who don't know, is like you would put this sapling down, you would trip every time you went over it, and you had these balloons on Villager that would explode over time or if you hit them. And so what you do is you just put one right next to the ledge and then continuously upbeat to the ledge, spreading your balloons out there, so there was no way to approach.
There was also the Lloyd rocket, I think, that would, instead of hitting them, it would push.
Yeah.
So if you stand behind the sapling, and if someone tried to approach you, you just go back and do the Lloyd rocket, and the Lloyd rocket would push you into the trip sapling.
Yep.
So it felt like the most obnoxious thing. I found it fine though, because I feel like Villager's probably another character I don't mind as Mega Man. Just I can out-camp Villager, and that's his strength. And basically, I feel like we were both like, oh, look, we're playing really lame characters, and we're playing really lame. Oh, look at this, aren't we lame? But we were just having so much fun that...
it didn't matter.
It just didn't matter.
There's very few of those matches where you just like get on with somebody that like you lose that sense of competition where you're just having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that with Leisha. Like, Leisha's another person that I feel like I've definitely had matches where I'm screaming with. I feel like with Jace too. Every time I used to sit down with Jace, like, hello, sweetheart, here we go again. And he'd just get dumb stuff on me, and I'd just be like, I hate you so much. You're such a bitch. And he'd be like, love you. I don't do it. There's some people I don't do it to because it's just disrespectful, but Ben's another one at the moment. I feel like
Ben's always down for that
because he's an idiot. So yeah, no, I think it's just anyone. You probably just saw it with me and Villainous.
Yeah. No, I can definitely attest to, like, when you are in pools or we having fun with someone. It doesn't matter who it is. You can get really into it. You'd be shouting in no time. Anyway, we got another final question. What's your favorite Mega Man ult other than the default? So the yellow and brown one?
I feel like, that's the Elecman one. I feel like I like the Elecman one, but I also like the green one just because it's the weapon you get, the Leaf Shield weapon. So, but I don't think that one looks good. So I think, I don't know if it's semantically, but I think in terms of what it represents, the Leaf Shield one, just because Leaf Shield, but otherwise it's the Elecman one, the yellow and the brown one. That just looks decent.
Got the history that Mega Man was inspired by Astro Boy, but you don't use the Astro Boy skin. White and red.
I really don't like anything to do with Astro Boy.
Really?
There's a certain someone at my job that every time she gets the chance to slip in Astro Boy just to try and trigger me in conversation, she will, and
Okay.
she's just a little weeb and I ignore her. So
She's a weeb, not
Yep.
you.
Yep.
Even though you're the one with the problem, Astro Boy.
no, I don't like Astro Boy.
Yeah,
so
okay. All right, fair calls. Yeah. no, I completely understand that one. Personally, I just go for most of the yellow skins. I like
okay.
the color, yeah.
Oh well, you're playing Pac-Man, the right character.
Yeah.
Good thing you're not playing Sonic.
Ugh. Sonic's disgusting. Well, who would play that?
Oh, low tier.
Low
Ugh.
tier and campy?
Yep.
Why would you bother? Anyway, I'm kind of done with the questions. I think we've got a good view of you, and the stream has been able to interact, and we've also interacted with the Twitter questions. So I think the final part is that we're actually going to play a game. Now, I know that you said no items. I think we're going to agree to that.
Okay.
But you said nothing about stage hazards.
Okay.
Can you see where I'm going with this yet?
Yeah.
You know one of the most infamous stage hazards in the game are?
Are you going to say Yellow Devil?
Yes.
Yeah, I just...
We're going to play the Megaman Yellow Devil stage.
Yep.
We're only going to do a couple of games, but since we're going to be moving on to that... Oh, hold on. When someone gets a stock lead on you and decides to try to camp you out, how do you deal with cornering them and chasing them down? Why don't you answer that one, and then we'll say goodbye to the audio listeners, and then we'll move on to the final games.
I can tell this is an Ari question because this happens all the time with Ari. Okay, so this is giving away my game plan. Ari does this all the time to me. So I'll be playing Ari and he's on 250% and I'm on 60. Oh no, he got a nair to up air on a platform. Look, I'm dead.
Yeah.
But he's on 300. What do? Do I chase him down? Oh, then I get a grab, down throw, forward air, up air. Oh, look, I just took 40. Oh, I just took 50. Suddenly, like, I'm a whole stock behind. No, I can't let that happen. It's discipline.
Okay.
So, ideally, I have to play being in the lead because if I'm not in the lead, people can camp me. So when I take a stock before someone else, it's good. I can just keep my space. But when the opposite happens, I need to resist the urge to run in and just take unnecessary damage. Megaman just is not suited to that. I need to go, look, I know he's one hit away from killing, from being killed.
Yeah.
But if I go in to do it, and if I don't do it pixel perfect, then he's gonna get some combo on me, or something's gonna happen. I need to seal this stock as if I'm on like a boss rush mode and I can't take a single hit. Like that's the mode that I go in. And the trick is to not come down and go, I've got 2 seconds of invincibility, go attack them. You just go down and they'll usually be scared at that point.
Yeah.
So you just need to corner them a bit, because when you corner people, you get stage control first. That shuts down their options.
And they start to panic.
And then, they start to panic. You go for something safe. So grabs are usually pretty good, but grabs I find against characters that have good grab options themselves. Like if they can grab you and do 40 damage, then that's probably not safe. It just really comes down to patience.
Yeah.
And just fighting. And I have to actively do it specifically against Ari, and it triggers me because he'll kill me at 80 and he's on 300, but you just have to come down. I'm going to bide my time and I'm going to get you and I'm not going to take damage, and then it's going to be even. So it's just a mindset thing that you just have to not give them what they want. And then you take the next stock and then it's like, haha, now I'm in the lead.
So yeah, I was paying attention to that because I have that problem with Pac-Man all the time.
Yeah.
Where I would just like need the kill, throw something out, and then get punished by it.
No, yeah, you got to come down and be like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair calls. All right. So for those of you listening, that'll be probably it for the podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, we're gonna say goodbye. We love you very much. Thanks for all of your time so far. And if you want to watch the YouTube of us getting destroyed by a yellow devil, or maybe Shitashi's just gonna one-shot it. Who knows? But yeah, definitely check that out on YouTube. Until then, have a great rest of the day that you're having, or go to sleep if you're staying up late. And we love you very much. Catch you next time. All right. Now that we've got all the weebs and weenies out of the road, we're going to go right into the game, I think. The only thing is I do need to borrow a controller jet because mine's with my brother. I just never have it. So if you have yours. And I think we're going to get set up. So just a short interlude. I don't think we have to go offline on the mics just yet, but we'll see. Until then, You excited for any upcoming tournaments besides what's it called?
The Perth one.
Yeah.
Every single monthly
You get excited by?
the Couch Warriors ones are just getting crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
I think having Trunkle and Lanoon in the mix
Was pretty cool.
Was insane.
Yeah.
Having Trunkle, Lanoon, Lumi, Mr. L, Shadru, Sad Hour, myself, plus there's people I'm forgetting. Spammage even did well there.
You know what was insane? How Trunkle and their whole crew, Loon, able to do so well with being separated from the majority of the scene for so long. I do not understand how they do it.
I was so scared of them because I did not know what to expect from either of them.
Yeah.
It's just,
I heard that Trunkle was actually going to play Belmont earlier on, and then he switched.
I wanted to see his Belmont because he won a FNS, I thought, with Belmonts at that time. So I was like, and the Belmont matchup I learnt a lot about when I went down south and played against Cherry in ACT.
Yeah, he was really good.
And I thought I knew the matchup, but the way he plays it, no, I didn't know the matchup.
Yeah.
Because basically I keep people at the lemon tipper distance, but he's like, oh, that's the Belmont whip, and he can down angle the forward air so consistently that it's like I just can't lemon.
That's the toughest part about the character. It's like you need to get the angles down, but after you have that, it unlocks a whole new level.
Yeah.
I put a lot of time into the Belmonts. That was the biggest problem that I found really frustrating, was I had to consistently do that. Now you'll notice, it was me. Hold on. There's a little bit of lag.
That's okay. I play online.
Input lag. Yeah. Ugh. Alright, who am I playing? I'm playing Pac-Man.
So what are we doing for characters?
I think we're just going to go with mains, and then we're going to try and do the Yellow Devil, because I don't want to be stuck doing Jigglypuff and getting pissed on the entire time.
Alright. They put the Yellow Devil in Megaman 11. That was quite interesting. He's such an obnoxious boss. If you've played any Mega Man game, you hate him. But he's one of those ones you just have to memorize exactly what he does.
I heard the only way that you do it is you get like the electric thinger, and then as soon as it hits you, pause, unpause, pause, unpause, unpause.
That's what peasants do. Those people never get good at games.
Yeah, fair, cool.
That's cheating.
Are we on the right stage and the right mode? Are we going to be invisible and tiny? Okay.
Oh, just
Alright.
got to figure it out.
So remember, this is a competition, so you can focus on killing Yellow Devil, and I'll just be him, and then try and...
Alright, so we're trying to kill the Yellow Devil.
No, I'm trying to kill you.
Oh, okay.
You're trying to kill us both.
Oh, I see.
The Yellow Devil works for me. Look at my skin.
So I have something I like to do in the Pac-Man matchup. Let's see if I can do it. I'll tell you when I've done it. How does it feel to have grab finally?
Oh, it's actually really good, and I love. It's so good. I accidentally use it way too much, so I'll stand at the ledge and just grab 5 times. Oh, here he comes! All right, get him, bud. I'm gonna start charging. Yeah. Is that how you beat him in the game? Yeah, get him.
I'm not dealing with that.
Oh, that hit me. Oh man, that's
I can't actually avoid his pattern in Smash. Got him.
Oh, already?
Yep.
Yellow Devil, you let me down. Oh, this is gonna hit me.
We have a Pac-Man player at my work actually, and he just does random side Bs, and
so you should take this
it's
one.
Stressful.
That was a risk.
I should have, yeah. Pac-Man's scary when he's on his thing. Trampoline.
I can't do any inputs. Yeah. Nope. Dash!
Oh, I thought I was under that. Got him.
You don't need that. You don't. Put it
No,
away.
you
can
don't
hurt
need that.
yourself. Yellow Devil, get it from him. Get it from him. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to kill the Yellow Devil.
Oh, you got it.
Is
Okay.
this gonna hit me? Yeah, sweet.
So every time I've played Mario Bros. Pac-Man online, I'd take his fruit.
And then I can't charge.
Yep, and I timed him out in Wi-Fi with his fruit when I got the percent lead, and he was not happy. And I've decided it's the optimal Pac-Man strategy. Although the problem is I can't kill you.
Yeah,
so
you
I
can only use those.
have to.
But if you get lemon, that's pretty good. Oh!
Yep. So now if I get your fruit, you're not seeing it again until you're...
Alright, Yellow Devil. Get him. So what game did he appear in? 10?
1, but he's appeared in like multiple... There you go, 1. He's appeared in... Oh, shit. He's appeared in multiple, like he's the most remade Mega Man. I think there's been like 4 incarnations of him.
What's the lore on him? Like, why does he exist? Is he like the ultimate invention of Dr. Robotnik?
I think because the developers are lazy and he was just like a yellow blob that they just invented.
They're cool. But does he have an intricate lore, at least?
Maybe in the manga or something, but...
Is it manga? Is it good?
Oh, I know there's an anime, and I've seen clips of it, and it's terrible.
Yeah, you need to get out your energy cards, Mega Man.
It's that one.
Yeah. Oh, whoops.
Oh, that's...
Oh, what do you
fair.
think was happening? Yeah, it's a projectile.
See, this is why I don't challenge it.
Yeah, but you gotta steal it, not challenge it. See, I can get charge all day, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. Ouch! Wow, they go forever.
They're not to be underestimated.
So how long did it take you to beat your first Mega Man?
Mega Man X, probably a week.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Ooh, oh, you got me.
Yeah, I need those beer verses.
Probably, that was like one of my first games I played, like really early. And that was like renting it at the shop. Oh.
Oops. Supposed to be dash attack. Yeah, I remember we used to rent games.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, no longer.
Oh, you are getting me with the key more than I'm comfortable with.
It's a really good projectile, and when you get it, it's actually like one of the best things to use in a matchup. Doesn't hit my hydrant, that's really nice. Oh, but hydrant just gets clanged with leaf shield. Ouch. Oof. No DIN for you. Alright, let's kill them together.
No! Oh, I jumped into that, but the lag stopped the input.
Oh, it still hit me? What a joke. You tried.
I did. Up tilting the hydrant is the best thing I can do against it.
Really?
I think so, because it just bounces up and down in place. It's like a wall.
Yeah, it is all about the angles. Oh!
Got him.
I thought they would eat it. Yeah, that's the problem I have with Pac-Man at the moment, the cast time.
Yep.
Where you get the item.
Yep.
I was really hoping Yellow Devil would be a lot scarier. I'm sure he is in the real game.
He's a pain in the ass, and because he'll do that little thing where he flips like from one side to the other,
And he's completely invulnerable.
Yeah,
the
you got to
whole
dodge
time.
all of them. Then he opens his eyes, and you can hit him once, and then you got to do it all again. So this is my new mate.
Oh my god. You know, I played Piranha Plant. There's actually a decent Piranha Plant player. Zuji,
yeah.
I think it is.
Zunjo.
Yeah, that's it.
Zunjo's good. I was
Yeah.
watching him. Yeah.
Alright, I actually know this matchup for the Belmonts. It's actually funny.
Ooh.
Because while you're charging, you can get hit by Axe.
Oh yuck.
Yeah, and it like Axe outranges you because when you shoot, it'll hit you.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And it just does a ridiculous amount of damage. But I haven't played the Belmonts in a while, so I'm probably going to die.
Whoa. They're fragile characters. They looked so overpowered when they first came out, and then I saw their recovery, and I'm like, okay, that's fair.
Oh, it's one of the tilts. I just outrange you. This is what we all wanted. Yikes. Oh wow, I didn't instantly knock it away. Ah, he's transporting. I'll be fine.
Oh.
Oh! Oh! Living.
How?
Good DI, I think. And bad character?
Yeah. Oh, I hit you out of that.
Yeah, I was dead. I was like, oh, I made a mistake.
Oh, that grab thing.
Yeah, that was a surprise. Everyone doesn't know. Oh, yeah, that'll get you. Oh, you lucky duck.
I'm a heavy boy.
No, be reverse, please. See, if I was Cherry there, I would have landed that back there.
That was not tippered.
That'll kill eventually.
I had to talk to Cherry to actually learn that there was a tipper mechanic on their whip.
Surprised you didn't know.
It's
just like everything that's got range these days has a good tipper on it, eh?
It feels like that.
Yeah.
I like those mechanics. It introduces skill.
But then they ruin them, like they did with, oh, you don't want to get on that side. The forward throw kills faster than the back throw with the Belmonts. Oh, jeez. I might be dead. Oh! Alright, just let him get his thing done. Oh, you killed it. Great.
Yep.
Yeah, get me out. Ouch. I'll be fine. Ah! I'm not fine.
That's what you thought.
Yeah. And this is the situation that you were talking about where you get the 150%, and then you're...
Yeah, well, you gotta be patient because I feel like you're gonna run in and do silly things.
Nah, that's me. I do the silly things. That's why I wanted to play Camp. Just ridiculous, no brain shit. Yeah, my boy. Get me out of there.
I wonder if that does lots of damage. Surely this Piranha Plant side B one-shots him.
No?
Good job. I didn't even do it on him.
Oh. I think it did a decent amount of damage. Oh, you can't shield it? Great. No.
Yes.
Okay, so I see you jumping a lot. Oh, I should have one-throwed.
Oh, I didn't expect that.
I got hit. It's alright.
Worth.
Nice. Oh, thanks. He's bad. Alright. And I think we'll do one more to make it a best. Oh, Mario comes in. I've
Yep.
never seen these win poses.
Yep. Alright, so maybe I should play my Bayonetta and you tell me if I play Bayonetta like Mega Man.
Okay. I don't even. How do you even play Bayonetta like Mega Man?
Apparently I can't. But the thing is, I played Woodkins in Sydney, and he was terrifying. Like he nearly took some games off me, and he just sits back and plays really patiently and punishes any short hops I was doing with side B. So I'm like, okay, well the character can't go in all the time, but she seems to punish certain things.
Super hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No.
maybe I just do play like like Mega Man. Who knows?
I was thinking of playing all defensive characters that I've got, like Pac-Man and Belmonts, but I don't really have a third defensive character.
Oh,
So maybe
yeah.
you want to pick one.
Don't you have a decent dock?
No.
No.
No, that was a long time ago. My dock is anything but decent these days. I did try him. I did have a Lucas, but I haven't played him in Ultimate Org yet.
Yeah, okay. Zelda's pretty defensive if you know her.
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
no. Sorry, Zelda mains. I think maybe Mewtwo, Zelda.
Someone you're comfortable with.
Well, let's play Mewtwo.
Alright.
I know he got hella nerfed, but oh, he was so cool in Smash 4.
Jaws makes me feel like the character's still good.
Yeah,
It's,
he does.
It's scary.
He's good.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
He's just got a big tail now that...
Yeah.
That's
That's probably the worst thing for this matchup, honestly. I'm going to be like air dodging out and you're going to clip the tail after
Yeah.
I'm already gone. That's what you need. Bap. Okay. Ouch. Ouch. I don't know if I should be accepting the damage anymore or if I should try and DI out. I did not mean to go that far. There we go. Yeah, that move's still quick. Got changed though. Right when I needed him. Good boy.
Oh, what am I doing?
You're on my side.
Oh my god.
What are you doing?
I'm just being a potato.
I don't know if this is like Mega Man, because I think you win with Mega Man. I'm not sure. Oh, okay, I spoke too soon. Oh, nice timing. Man, I'm still not used to that. I can't time a regular get up with an F smash at all, so I'm just like, yeah, I'll do that to somebody else. Yeah, you can kill me. Please.
Was
I
who
got
that?
him, I think. No, you got him. Bah.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah.
She's a skinny lady.
Yeah, the approaches need to be on my shield. Or you just get minced. Is down tilt still good? I forgot.
I think his forward tilt's better now. Even though he could do down tilt out of a dash, which I thought would be broken.
Let's change. I felt like I could contest everything with the forward air, now it just doesn't feel that way. I got him. It's mine. Nope. Oh, you got him. Oh, and I'm in it! No! You were comboing me at that, you grot.
That's
gross.
how I combo. Oh, you're doing stuff.
The classics. They don't really exist anymore, though, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I missed that. Oh, that was perfect DI. Not that time. Stop that.
I'll do what I want. Oh, yuck.
That's me. Get in there. Ah. Yeah.
Oh,
what
what?
are you doing?
Obviously not what was optimal.
Yeah, no, you should have camped me out on that one.
I really should have.
Alright, here we go. So many animations I gotta get used to as well, hey? Like you're getting up and then rolling forwards with the roll forwards off the ground animation. Come on, need you, Yellow Devil!
Oh, I gave that to you.
You did. The down air is not very good, is it?
Bayonetta's.
Yeah.
I think it's decent. Okay, I'm not walking into that.
Free charge. The real test will be how you kill me. If I play safe, are you going to try and camp me out, or are you going to try and go for the kill?
Forget how to kill with Bayonetta.
You can't. That's the.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh. Oh, grab range. I wonder if I can reflect his bullets. Out of here. Probably should have up thrown. Jaws knows that would have killed. Ah! He was supposed to be my ally! Alright.
Yeah, that's
Clean 3-0.
optimal Bayonetta.
That's
Bayonetta.
optimal, but I think you got to cut out the down airs. They just know.
I'm better than Envy though.
Yeah, of course. No, I think there was no contest better than
Yeah.
anything I've ever seen from Envy.
That kid's free.
He's such a Garbo player.
Just so everyone knows, I threw the match on the ESL online thing so he
Yeah,
could go to
yeah.
America.
Yeah, I mean,
Wasn't even
obviously we
close.
want to help the kid out, right?
Yeah, I felt sorry for him. I mean, he thinks Bayonetta's a good character, so
That's a rough belief.
yeah.
I think you played optimally, and honestly,
Oh, he should be taking notes from me.
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
we did it.
Anyways, so those of you who stuck with us to the end, I think we're going to wrap it up right there. You've been an excellent crowd, helping us out, getting through with the questions. Shitashi, is there anything you would like to say to your fans or the people who watched today?
Not really. If you've listened this far, thank you for listening. I guess I'll see all of you at a tournament sometime, unless you're an internet lurker. In that case, go to a tournament.
Follow him at You're Not Shitashi on Twitter. Make sure you use Ausmash, support the scene, and give feedback as much as possible because obviously he's still working on it and it helps a whole lot.
Yeah.
I love you all. Stick around for the next one where our special guest will be a clone of me, except he's been modified to be a rodent, and I have to just try and keep him together for the entire time. All right. See you all guys later.
Laters.
Have a fantastic day.